Let them in the store, baby.
Losing their minds, guys. Come on now. All right. What's up, everybody? You already know this. Your boy Narcolepsy Boy 94, aka Malik. Back here again with another podcast. The Narcolepsy Click in the house. Doing a little Q&A today. I've never done a Q&A for you guys, so we'll just take some questions in here in the chat. If you guys have some questions, feel free to drop some questions. Have some guests in here, too. Some of you may know from TikTok. Josiah, Axel, Lou, and Mountie, who's been on here many times. So you already should know who Mountie is. Been on here
should know.
Numerous times. So feel free to drop some questions, you guys. If you guys have some questions, drop them in the section, and we'll answer some questions. Let me see some of these for her. Somebody said go CM Punk. We'll answer some. Would you rather? I don't know. This is for me. This is for me. This is for me. I don't know. I gotta read this one. This is for me. This person for me. Would you rather marry Miranda Cosgrove or be a top star in WWE? Listen, bro. If I had a chance to marry Miranda Cosgrove, I'm marrying Miranda Cosgrove. Just know that. That instantly I'm taking that.
Top star
over WWE. I don't care. It's Miranda Cosgrove. It's Miranda Cosgrove we're talking about. It's Miranda Cosgrove. Come on, man.
But say like you get like the stardom like John Cena. You know what I'm saying? That level top star.
Exactly. You don't get her anyway.
No, I'm talking about
or something close.
Just imagine, bro. Okay, just imagine if your all-time crush, bro, you had a chance to marry your crush, or be a chance in WWE. Come on, bro. You gotta take the crush, bro. You know you have to, bro. It's a once in a lifetime experience.
Hell no.
Take the crush, bro.
Well, when you put it like that, I don't know if y'all can see it. Oh wait, right there. I can't. I don't know if y'all can see that, but right there is Zendaya. I probably would.
Yeah, for Zendaya? Come on, for Zendaya. That's a no-brainer.
Now that you put it like that.
Come on, bro. Come on, that's it. All right, we got a question right here. Do you think Miz will lose the title? I'll start the question. I definitely do. I don't think he's going to go to WrestleMania as champ. I would like to see him get a little bit of a run, but I still think he's going to do the thing with Bad Bunny at WrestleMania, like the tag stuff with Bad Bunny, Damian Priest, and Morrison. So I don't know if it will lose on Monday. It may be at Fastlane, but I think it'll either be Monday or at Fastlane. That's what I'm thinking. What do you think, Josiah?
I highly predict that Miz will most likely lose soon. Here's the thing. I don't think he's gonna walk into WrestleMania the champion, in my opinion. I feel like they're really setting up something for Bobby Lashley. So that's just my take on it.
What about you, Axe? What do you think?
He's not dropping the title on Monday, but he's definitely dropping it at Fastlane. Not walking into Mania with that title. It sucks, but
you think Will be dropping the belt?
Hell yes. Transitional champion. It's a good way to protect Drew and push Bobby Lashley. I mean, like they're doing all this shit for Bobby Lashley. They can't, waste it now. He's been the most protected guy in the game right now over anybody. I'm talking even over Roman, I think. I think he's more protected than Roman. I will argue with it. Yeah, wow. Bobby Lashley's been protected like a month, like not protecting in a negative way, but as in like he's had a monster push. Like since he won the U.S. Championship, he's squashed everybody.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Mountie?
Well, rightfully so. Like to kind of echo that, like I think it's well deserved. I think we're seeing like his best work right now. I mean, we talked about this on Malik's podcast like last week, I think, and the way I see this kind of going is like you said. Miz loses the title one way or another to set up that like tag team match that we talked about. And then, Bobby Lashley gets involved. Obviously, maybe he goes into WrestleMania as champion, which is sick. And I think about that. That's pretty awesome, right? Number one. I haven't been this excited since a Bobby Lashley push since when he was ECW champion and then he was going head to head with John Cena. I was feeling that back in the day. Yeah, that was sick. That was dope. And to be honest with you, him going into WrestleMania as champion, I asked the question, okay, who's he going to go against, right? And I think a returning Brock Lesnar would be sick. And not only that, you can kind of enter Drew McIntyre for his rematch clause at that point. and you could have maybe a 3-way, and that's like a super heavyweight, like Lesnar, Drew, and Bobby Lashley, where Bobby Lashley wins on top of everything. Like, I feel like this is going to be his Chris Jericho moment. You know what I mean? When Chris Jericho beat The Rock in Austin in the same night for the Undisputed title. And there was another reference that I thought, The Miz, when The Miz beat John Cena and The Rock. Like, I feel like this is going to be Bobby Lashley's like career defining moment here. I don't know if it's going to like be amazing going forward after it, but I think he deserves that opportunity. I mean, his first run in the tenure with WWE was amazing in its own way, but even now I feel like it's even better. The other way that they could maybe go is, okay, if Miz does go into WrestleMania as champ, well, you can have Bad Bunny interfere in the main event, but it doesn't sound as exciting and as sexy as the first option I laid out. So I'm going to go with that instead.
That's the dark timeline. You don't want that.
No, man, that's too predictable. And then, there's a lot of focus with Damian Priest there. So then, if they go that route, what are they going to do with Priest? Like, are they going to do Bad Bunny and Priest against something else? And then Bad Bunny gets involved in the main event. Look, anything can happen. Anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation. You remember those days? But hey, listen, it come. I think Drew versus Brock versus Lashley, or just Drew versus Brock. Drew versus Bobby. I think it's enough.
Yeah, it will be.
All right, next question. We'll move on to the next question. Who's better, Y2J or CM Punk? What do you guys think?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I go with Jericho.
It's tough.
I gotta say, I like CM Punk way more than Jericho, but Jericho as all time, he's better. He's in my top 10. He's in my top 10 greatest.
Okay, so if we're talking if we're talking in-ring ability and mic skills, then if we're talking in-ring ability, I go Chris Jericho. But if we're talking like overall like character, I'd probably go with CM Punk.
Okay. What about you, Ax?
Everything together, I'm gonna have to go with Chris Jericho.
I like Punk more, but Jericho's in my top 10 greatest ever. So I think Jericho overall
Jericho easy.
is better, especially career wise. But
yeah,
I lean more toward Jericho then. Yeah.
You know what, man? It's really tough to answer this question, and I'll tell you why quickly. In the last 10, 12 years, Chris Jericho has been out of this fucking world. Let's be honest, right? Like that 2008 run and everything else, like leading up to it, throwing Michaels through the Jerotron, his stint with Kevin Owens, his stuff in New Japan, his amazing work in AEW. Like, this guy keeps changing and evolving, and it's amazing. So what I'm trying to say is, it's really hard for me to say who's better, because we don't know if CM Punk could have elevated to that same height if he would have stuck around, right? So, and 10, 12 difference does make it a difference, right? And ultimately, though, I'd like to think, if I could predict the future, and if CM Punk stuck around, who do I think would have been higher? I think Chris Jericho would have edged him, but really not by much.
That's a good prediction. All right, go on to some more questions. I'm still at the top, guys. I know you guys probably reading at the bottom, but I'm still at the top because I want to try to get as many as we can in here. This one, John Cena or The Rock? So I'm guessing basically one of you what you would choose. So I guess this one. Well, I'm guessing you're asking which one we would choose over the other. As me though, I mean John Cena's my favorite wrestler of all time, so I'm not picking anybody with John Cena.
Sorry,
I'm not picking anybody with John Cena.
Here's the thing. John Cena is my favorite wrestler too, and it's like,
but it's The Rock, bro. It's The Rock.
Look, if we're talking,
it's The Rock fucking Rock, bro.
Look, John Cena, he's been in his business for a long time, and he's put over a lot of superstars, and he made superstars make a name for themselves. But here's the thing about The Rock is that he has the personality, and he has and when he's in the ring, when he's having matches, it's entertaining and stuff like that. Not saying that John Cena matches aren't entertaining, but I'm just saying I don't know. I would lean towards. I
gotta say, I was like The Rock. I love The Rock, bro. If I could be any wrestler, I would want to be The Rock, bro. He just has the total package to me. He has the entire package for entertainment on the mic, in the ring. But
charisma,
the main reason I fell in love with wrestling was because of John Cena, bro. If it
That's
wasn't for John Cena, bro, I would have never I would have never fallen in love with wrestling, especially for my era, as much as it was John Cena. So I gotta go John Cena, bro. It's just mainly because there are only two people in my life that I idolized. Like I'm talking about truly idolized and wanted to be like Kobe Bryant and John Cena, bro. Those are my only two idols that I ever wanted to be like. So I had to say John Cena, bro. I wanted to be just like him, bro. So I mean, I had to say John Cena.
Maybe not just like him. You want to get a girlfriend, and you gotta get a wife and have her sign a contract to move into your house, and it's like, we are gonna have red wine by the fire at 7:00.
No, okay.
Please be there on time.
Maybe not the out of the ring John Cena. The end of the ring John Cena.
He's a role model one way or another, brother. I hear you. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it's tough though, man. The Rock though, man. Gosh, bro.
Here's the thing for me, it's 50-50, but like at the same time, it's like I would lean towards John Cena just that much, but it's not by much. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
X-Man, what do you think?
Let's see. Both were the face of the company. Both left for Hollywood.
100.
I see a pattern.
But I'm gonna have to go with Cena on this, man. Just like Malik said, being a kid watching Cena's who got me into the wrestling, got me stuck into it, man.
You got that connection. I understand that. Like for me, it was.
Bro, I told you, bro. We do this debate on my podcast every time because it's really like we do the drafts. It's like three guys are from they're a little older than us, so they're from a little different era than we are.
Yeah, we're from the golden era.
We're from the golden era, and then you got guys like me, Rambo, and Kyron. We're from the Ruthless Aggression era. So it's like, bro, we're split on the John Cena stuff, bro, because it's like they don't like John Cena because they grew up. They were a little older when John Cena was coming up. You know what I mean? So they understood wrestling. They understood wrestling more. So they were like, John Cena, his character's just too good guy. It's not for us.
He was beating those guys. He was beating those guys that we were like, yeah, these guys need to get pushed. The Wade Barrett's, the six, the Nexus guys, like I was like, come on, bro. It was hard to watch sometimes,
Yeah.
The Nexus. Don't bring up the Nexus, bro.
You want me to get my shirt? I'm gonna get the shirt with the armband, bro. Don't make me do it.
I'm not saying the Nexus.
That was a cool group.
They had
was
eyes worse than death, bro.
They were. That's when I was getting a little older to watch wrestling. I was like maybe 13, 14 around that time, and I was actually pulling for the Nexus, bro. I was like, bro, Nexus, they had to win. That's when I knew, that's when I kind of started to understand why people didn't like John Cena. You know what I mean? That's when I kind of started to pick up in my brain because when you're a kid, you just don't understand. I'm like, why people booing John Cena? But why people booing John Cena? He's a good guy. He's not doing anything bad. I don't understand it.
Yep, the golden shovel.
Golden shovel, bro.
Am I the only one that's Lou? Help me out here. Am I the only one that's going with Rock on this argument?
No, you're not. I'm going with Rock.
Please go first.
I'm an attitude era dude. The Rock, besides Austin, The Rock made wrestling cool, bro. Like that was the coolest person in wrestling, period, at that time. Like that dude was just straight up cool, and his coolness transcended more than just wrestling. Like, bro, it got mainstream. He was just so mainstream. To a point he's in rap videos, he's in movies and all that shit. But as far as thing with King his catchphrases, his charisma, his the way he carried himself, and also he wasn't selfish as well. You know what I mean? He put a lot of I said this in one of my shit. He did he said a lot of he put over a lot of guys.
Yeah,
honestly,
that's why when we did
put two people over, bro. And
the last podcast we did with me, Mountie, and Sean and everything, we did the debate where we were talking about Rock and Austin. That's one of the biggest debates, and we all picked The Rock, bro. We love Austin, but The Rock was he was more entertaining to me. He was just more funnier to me. The Rock has the total package for a wrestler, bro. That's how I look at The Rock, bro. Yeah. He can do everything, bro. He can make you laugh. He can make you hate him. He can make you love him. He can do everything, bro. He's so entertaining, bro.
If it was Rock and Austin, I 100% probably would choose The Rock. Not take nothing away from Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. But if we're talking about charisma and entertainment and stuff like that, and I would I look forward to seeing him all the time. It's just I'll probably go for The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Rock definitely helped me to. He definitely, along with Austin in that Attitude Era and everything, he made me tune into Monday nights all the time, you know, or SmackDown or whatever was going on at that given time. The pay-per-views, like he was like Luke nailed it, man. Like he was just cool. And I think that's the difference. Like John Cena, in my opinion, was never really cool. He was a role model. He was good for people like, you know, coming up. And I can understand why you would look up to him like, you know, like a big brother. But like at the same time, like Rock was the guy that would come down the street and spit on his hand and smack that big brother of yours. You know what I mean? And you're like, yo, I know he just nailed my brother, but that guy's cool as shit. And he's walking away right now. I kind of want to go hang out with that dude. Like it was that edginess of The Rock that for me, it just edges Cena. That's it. So I'm going with The Rock.
Fair point.
This is a good question right here. Where's your dream match? Ooh. So dream match. So I'll be generous. I'll answer a 2-part question. Let's do a dream match that we know will never happen, and then maybe a dream match that could happen today. So they mean just nothing could happen today. So I will say that my all-time dream match that will never happen would have been Shawn Michaels versus Eddie Guerrero. Really wanted to see that match, and they would have put on a fucking classic. Could have been the greatest match you ever saw in your life. Just say that. So I really want to see that match. Never gonna happen. But for now, dream match I want to see now. I would say I'm gonna go a little different, bro. I'm gonna say Randy Orton versus Tetsuya Naito, bro, from New Japan, bro. Tetsuya Naito is my favorite wrestler in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's been my favorite wrestler in New Japan for some years now. And I've always thought that Randy Orton, to me, was the best worker in WWE. Still, to me, is to this day. And those two together, I think they would have a fantastic match. So I'm going to say that. That would be my dream match for today. What about you, Mountie? What's up with Mountie? He's at the bottom. You always go last, so.
Well, I mean, as far as dream match that will never happen, I would, you know, and I have, it's kind of a question to you guys because I'm pretty sure that I'm certain on this, but you know, look, we got like 5 heads here, so let's put them together. The Rock versus Shawn Michaels.
Oh,
have we ever seen it?
Yeah, no, never happened.
We ever seen it?
I would love to see it. It's just like, according to The Rock, he didn't want to work with him.
Yeah.
So there you go. It's one of those things where, you know, that's obviously WrestleMania main event caliber. I'm not saying you need a title for it, but it doesn't matter. I would have loved to have seen that. So that's my match that and to be honest, I got to think a little bit more. So can you give me a minute about the other one? I don't want to just say anything, you know. But
another one. I'll throw out another one for Lugos. Another one that I want to see since he came back is going to happen. I wanted to see Edge versus Roman, bro. That's why I really wanted him to challenge Roman at WrestleMania because that was one of the matches I want. As soon as he came back, I was like, bro, I had to see this match now since he's back. So
yeah,
that would be Edge versus AJ Styles would be another one too, which I'm sure will happen eventually. But what about you?
Yeah. I have a few. This one's gonna be interpromotional. I wanted to see because if AEW didn't exist and those guys didn't come over to WWE or anything, I would have wanted to see AJ Styles and Kenny Omega. I wanted to see that. Another dream match of mine, which could possibly still happen, but I think should have happened as soon as he returned to WWE, is Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, like properly booked Bobby Lashley against Brock Lesnar. Like, I wanted to fucking see that shit when he came back because I was like, oh, good, because Bobby Lashley had a freaking tear in he tore it up in Impact, and he was dominant in Impact. So when they brought him in, I'm just like, okay, they brought him in. Please keep him the same. You know what I mean? Babyface or heel don't matter. Just keep him dominant. And then, you know, obviously he had terrible booking. But him now, I want to see that with Lesnar. Like now, like dead ass. Like I've been wanting that to see. Because both of them are like, they have legitimacy to them. You know what I mean? They both fought in MMA. You know what I mean? Because when Brock Lesnar came back, his most like he was legitimate because he whooped niggas' asses in UFC. You know what I mean? I know Bobby Lashley did Bellator. You know what I mean? I would have liked to see them go in the ring, either wrestling or in the octagon. So I was just like, yo, that need to happen. And another
dream match that will never happen. Never happen. The one that's never gonna happen that you want to see.
The one that's never gonna happen.
That you know is never gonna happen.
No, it's never gonna happen. Damn, Undertaker and Sting.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's a
Undertaker
great
and Sting,
thing.
bro.
That's fuck, man. I wish I would have picked that almost.
Yeah, they could have made it happen, but they didn't. They didn't. So. What about you, Axel? What you gonna say?
One that's never gonna happen. It could have happened. Shawn Michaels versus Daniel Bryan.
It could have too.
They had a chance because remember the ending to the ceremony for the fusion of the title. They had a shot, but no. Let's take him out of retirement for the Brothers of Destruction, and we all know what happened with that one.
Yeah.
Another one that's not gonna happen: Shawn Michaels versus AJ.
What about one right now that could happen? What's one right now that could possibly happen?
That could possibly, unless they do that AEW versus WWE, Seth Rollins versus Kenny Omega.
That would be fire. That match would be fucking fire. That would be a good one. What about you, Josiah? What you thinking?
So, a match that probably would never happen would most likely be CM Punk versus AJ Styles. I love AJ Styles. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. And like in my opinion, AJ Styles could have like a match with anybody and it'd be fantastic. And so to have a match with CM Punk, I mean, that would be 5 stars and 6 stars in itself. My dream match, however, I got 2 and they both involve Finn Balor. It would be Prime Undertaker versus Demon Finn Balor. That would just be fantastic. And it would be Prime Shawn Michaels versus just Finn Balor, just regularly. I feel like those 2 matches would be fantastic.
Fire, yeah, that's a good one too. You know what would be another one? It may not be a show stealer over. Before we move on I'll move on to a different question next. But a match that made it.
Before you do that, can I add something before you do that? This is not necessarily a dream match, but a dream scenario on the mic. I would love to see these 2 individuals trade blows on the mic. Enzo Amore,
okay,
The Rock, and Conor McGregor.
You know what?
Just have promos on each other. I don't even want to see them wrestle. Just cut promos. That's it.
That'd be dope, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
That would probably carry an entire program.
I would watch it. I'd watch it. I'm not gonna lie. I'd tune into it. Another match that could be a dream match. Like, it may not be a show stealer of a match, but as far as the build up character wise, I think would be fantastic. Prime Undertaker versus The Fiend. That shit would have been money, bro.
That would have been money for sure.
Especially if the streak was alive too. Oh, God, with the streak on the line.
Ministry of Darkness Undertaker versus The Fiend. To me, Ministry of Darkness Undertaker is the best version of Undertaker. That's just my personal opinion. I love that version of Undertaker.
Yeah, a couple guys on the panel really like him.
Take a shit at me.
Oh, for sure.
I love Ministry Taker. This is a good question.
Malik, I got my pick now for my dream match that could happen. I have a few of them. I want to go with a tag team, just to switch it up. I'd like to see FTR versus the North. That would be one that I would love to see. I'd like to see Kenny Omega versus Seth Rollins.
Yep.
I think that would be amazing. And what was the other one I just had? Hang on a sec. Fuck, I might have forgotten it already. Damn it. Sorry, I got it now. Okay. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. I want to see that, because they have that background, obviously being in the group and everything. And it's just not the same Cody Rhodes anymore. And I think if they were going to do like the cross brand, I would really be interested to see like today's Randy Orton versus today's Cody Rhodes.
American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. That would be fantastic. Yeah.
Right. Because they both have elevated to such a high level since, obviously Orton was like this and last time and then Cody was down here, but now, it's kind of head and head. So I'd like to see an amazing build, sick promo package, throw in all the stuff from from Legacy, the whole deal. I'd like to see everything. So that was one that I'd like to see too.
This question right here, this is a pretty good question. Do you think Cassius Ohno would have been a huge star part of the Shield? It was rumored that Ohno should have been a member instead of Roman Reigns.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either.
I don't think he would have played it well. I talked about this before you joined, Monty. We were talking about the Shield and everything. I always thought Roman Reigns was going to be the breakout star because he has the look. He just has the look. You look at him, he looks like a star. Ambrose was when you look at the Shield, Ambrose was the best on the mic. In ring wise, Seth Rollins was the best, and Roman had the look. He had the look that WWE looks at, and he has the Samoan background too, which also helps because they push the Samoan wrestlers pretty heavily. Look at Yokozuna, you look at Rikishi, you look at The Rock, the Wild Samoans, High Chief Peter Maivia. They're all legends. So I think WWE was right on that one. I know CM Punk wanted to put him in there because that was his boy, and he was trying to look out for his boy, which I can respect. But I think WWE was right by adding Roman to it. I think Roman was the perfect fit.
They got it right with that one.
Yeah,
I think Cassius Ohno could have been good in like Sanity or something, but like not the Shield for some reason. I just
I can't. I don't see it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Or the Wyatt family, exactly.
Move on to this one. Do you think Adam Cole will join Pete Dunne?
No.
So we've been seeing a little breakup between Adam Cole pretty much breaking up the Undisputed Era one by one. It seems like he's gonna break them up one by one. So he went after Kyle O'Reilly. Now he went after Roger Strong. We still haven't seen Bobby Fish. So whenever Bobby Fish returns, I don't think he'll join Pete Dunne. What I think could possibly happen, maybe, I'm not sure. Because they kind of teased Finn Balor being in the group, so maybe Finn Balor will be the new leader or something. Because they did a little teaser with Finn Balor joining the group, and then all of a sudden Adam Cole turned. He beat up Finn Balor, and then he turned on Undisputed Era. So maybe Finn Balor joins forces with Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Roger Strong. And then maybe Adam Cole does something by himself. Maybe he forms another group or something. I don't know, man. Because NXT could be something.
I think he's just singles from here on out.
This is
by himself, in my opinion.
He is. No, this is my opinion. I'm just saying this is what I can see happen, or what I would like to see happen. I think it'd be pretty cool if they did something like that. I think it'd be pretty cool if maybe Finn Balor joined the group and Adam Cole did something else by himself, and maybe they form a different faction. Now you got this new faction versus his old faction. That's an easy story to tell right there, a money storyline. So it just depends on who they put in the group, though. It depends on who they put in the group. Adam Cole doesn't need to be with anybody. He's perfectly fine by himself.
And I'm kind of tired seeing him with people. I don't know if it's just me. I want to see, that Ring of Honor Adam Cole right now. I'm not saying I need to see him on the main roster yet, but I'd like to just see him be that solo entity just for a little bit. And as far as like Finn taking over, I mean, it's not a horrible idea. We've seen, different, versions of a faction before. I mean, we just talked about Nexus. Remember when CM Punk took over the Nexus? That was pretty. That was pretty cool.
It was cool. It started, but it was horrible.
Yeah.
I didn't like that though. Me personally, I didn't feel it.
But when it happened, people were going. It was pretty exciting. At first. I feel like they would have the same outcome. It would be like exciting at first, and then it's like, here we go again, And how is that really? What's the payoff for O'Reilly at that point? There's nothing. And all this time they're trying to build him to be that like some sort of main event player, and then you're just kind of keeping him underneath somebody else again. And I don't really see the unless he's gonna like turn on Finn like quickly, or Finn turns on O'Reilly, and then that splits. But really, you're just putting all kinds of shit in the wash, and it's gonna get all mixed up. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. What were you gonna say? Just like you gonna say something?
Oh yeah, and then when CM Punk, when he took over the Nexus, in my opinion, that kind of elevated like CM Punk to like even bigger heights, because he was already like he was already like a pretty like top guy, but like that elevated him to like even bigger parallels. You know what I'm saying? So that could be a good possibility.
We started to see his best mic work somewhere like around that time. It started to lift from there.
This is a good topic since it's pretty fresh and new. Do you think Edge should put over Roman at Mania? So I'm gonna say this.
No.
This is what I'm gonna say. Right now, Roman Reigns is extremely dominant and extremely believable, and the Tribal Chief is the best thing he's done in his career so far. But to be the champion, you also have to lose the belt at some point. So Roman has to lose the championship to somebody at some point. He's not going to be champ forever.
Mm-hmm.
To me, right now, since he's been the champ, there's not a more believable person storyline-wise to beat him than Edge, because Edge has a believable story behind him. I'm not saying Edge is more believable character-wise. He has a believable story, and a legit story that makes
story behind it.
He has a legit believable story that makes sense for him to win at WrestleMania, because he never lost the world title. When he retired, he was still the world champion. So storyline-wise, Edge feels like he's owed another championship run because he had to give up that championship and he never lost it. So maybe that storyline-wise, that bothers Edge. You know, I mean, he's not happy about that. You know, that really pissed me off. You know what I mean? Because I was forced to give up. Not only was I forced to give up my career, I had to give up my title too. So storyline-wise, I think Edge should win. I think he should win. And there are always, like I've been telling people, there are ways you can continue to build up Roman stronger, chasing the belt back to get it from Edge. Because it's not like Edge won't put him over if he wins. I'm sure Roman will get it back. You know, at some point, you get it back at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are different things.
And,
there are different things
you
can do.
When you put them over, exactly.
There are ways you can lose. There are ways you can lose matches and still look strong. You know, if you look at WrestleMania 14 when Kane lost to Taker, Kane kicked out of 2 tombstones before he got beat by the third one. And back then, how many people you can name that kicked out of 2 tombstones back in 1998? Nobody. Kane looked. Even though Kane lost, he still looked like a beast after the match. He's like Kane still looked like a fucking monster. You know what I mean? So there are ways you can still lose and look dominant. And to me, I'm looking at it storyline wise. If Edge isn't going to beat him, I don't know who's going to beat him, because I'm looking at the SmackDown roster. Then it's not going to be Cesaro because they push him. It's not going to be Shinsuke. Kevin Owens has already had multiple opportunities. I don't think it's going to be Daniel Bryan either. Daniel Bryan's not believable enough to me at this point. So who's it going to be?
That's what I've been saying before. That's what I've always said. I'm like, I don't really see anybody on SmackDown right now that can really beat Roman Reigns and be like is a believable contender for Roman Reigns. So do I think Edge should put Roman over? Honestly, tell you the real truth, if Edge were to do that, it would most likely kind of deaden his comeback, kind of deaden his momentum a little bit. People probably will get less interested in Edge now. But here's the thing: you could also have like true, but we know how WWE fans are. But you know what I'm saying. But there could be a possibility where afterwards, if Edge does put Roman over, then he can maybe go after Drew or like have like a story with Finn. You know what I'm saying? So there could be different ways that you can also do this.
What about you, Lou? What you thinking?
Absolutely. Edge should go over in storyline. It'll make more sense because but what I hear a lot, you know, I mean, homie KG said this more. Oh, it's gonna hurt Roman's momentum. It's not. If you really think about it, you know what I mean, Roman's doing the best work of his career, but you really think about it, really go back and look at Roman's title defenses. He hasn't beaten anybody clean. Nobody.
Yeah.
Not even Jay.
Yeah.
Not even Jay. He hasn't beaten anybody clean. Jay, when you could have beaten Jay the first match 100% clean, but you know, Jimmy threw the towel in. The second time in the I Quit match, he tricked him. You know what I mean?
Right.
He tricked him. Because he knew Jay wasn't gonna quit. You know, then after that it's Kevin Owens. He got lucky all 3 times against Kevin Owens. And then the shit with Daniel Bryan. We waited until after the match was over to fight him. You know what I mean? So it's just like he's getting good heel heat, but you know, as far as like him looking like dominant,
monster,
strong, and a monster, he's not a monster. You know what I mean? He hasn't beaten anybody 100% clean at all. But when it comes down to Edge, back to Edge, you know what I mean? The story is there. Malik, you said it. The story is there. It makes sense. But also the dynamic can change if Edge wins. That can, you know, put a ripple in, you know, Roman's character and change him up a bit. Like we see how Roman is when he has the belt. You know what I'm saying? You know how he get it and how desperate he is to keep it. Let's say how he will do to get it back.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. He could be more dangerous. I'm telling people. He could be more dangerous trying to get it back. Like the fact that he lost at WrestleMania could drive him insane. So now he's pissed that he thought he was good, but now he realizes, no, I'm not as good as I need to be. Because if you call yourself the head of the table, you're providing for the family, you're the leader. Well, the family relies on you. So now you're like, you know what? I got to step my game up even further now. And now I have to figure out, you know, I have to figure out how to get it back. And he could be even more dominant before. So I think everybody's thinking the same way.
You can even have the dynamic, the family getting involved as far as like, let's say, to do a segment like he's on the phone, or let's say they brought the Wild Samoans back, you know, because you know his dad is one of them. and the elders are like scalding him for losing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that can get to him to be even more vicious. You know what I mean?
I like that.
I think it helps the roster. I think it helps the roster a bit more because Roman at this point, the way he is right now, I'm not saying it hurts everybody, but it's just like nobody can match him at his level if he wins.
You can even do it like they did it like Tamina because she's Samoan, bro. She's part of the family too. She can even come up to Roman after you lose. He's like, bro, you're supposed to be the head of the table. What are you doing? Like you're out here, you're failing. You're failing the family. You're failing all of us. What are you like? You're not. And that's even though it's still Tamina, it would still make sense because she's a part of the bloodline. So she's a part of the family. She's like, bro, we can't. Maybe they could do something where like you can't come to the family dinners anymore. They don't want to look at you. You can't be at the. You can't be at the meetings.
Like,
you know, the family
like
gets
sit at the
together.
kitty table because you're not at the head of the table. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, like you're not. What about you, Axel? What do you think?
No, where I stand with this. Everybody's problem is it's going to kill his momentum. It's going to kill his character. The thing is, with great heels, they got to take a loss, bro. They have to. And right now, better than anybody, the biggest face right now at the moment is Edge. As far as Edge putting him over, he's going to put him over, just not at Mania.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
Okay.
I see somewhere maybe SummerSlam because, like you guys are saying, he'll back away from the title for a little bit. Because as far as a monster, he doesn't look like it just yet. Because he has the title. Take that title away from him.
What about you, Mountie? I think you're thinking the same thing too, Phil.
Oh man, like I have so many thoughts on this. Like this goes as well as good as a question as this is. It goes further than just Edge. This ultimately is the feud for Roman Reigns versus The Rock. And the reality is, gentlemen, if Roman Reigns was to face The Rock tomorrow, The Rock would win. So you need to find a way to have Roman Reigns be a believable opponent to go over The Rock, which, by the way, should happen whenever that is. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be at the Hollywood WrestleMania. So you have, my point is you have so much time to rebuild that character. And like Lou said, you know, he's been that tricky heel, that sort of cowardly heel, whatever you want to call it. And we need to see him be that dominant monster heel. And then it starts with taking out Edge. Because the thing with Edge is, you know, I need to see him win for a number of reasons. Obviously, he's got the best story, like you guys all said. But the reality is this isn't like the Daniel Bryan comeback. The Daniel Bryan comeback from injury, we knew that he was going to have years and years, maybe a decade, who knows. With Edge, you don't really have that kind of timeline. And opportunities like this are few and far between. You have to strike on this opportunity. You have to give him that WrestleMania moment and create part 2 of that documentary where he climbs the mountain. That's what everybody wants to see. And then the idea is after you have Roman, and then you can create like I love where you guys are going with that. I've been saying that for months, is to bring in that Samoan heritage and everything, you know, change up his look, whatever you got to do to make him that crazy, unstoppable beast. So crazy that he puts The Rock out of commission. And then you have, you know, exactly what you invested in Roman Reigns since early after 2010. We always knew he was the main event guy. We always knew he was the best player in the game right now in all promotions, arguably. But this is how you cement that legacy because
you know what I think?
Guys, DVD-wise, there's one chapter that's going to say Roman Reigns Tribal Chief, and it's going to say Tribal Chief 2.0. And this is going to be that 2.0. They need to build it right after WrestleMania. And the first one he takes out is Edge ruthlessly. That's what I think.
You know what else could help build Roman up stronger too is that if they brought back Brock, you could build Brock up even dominant. And then once, say Brock is believable again where he's dominant, you could have Roman versus Brock and you got Roman beat him clean. That way, that was tremendous. That would be him clean. But Brock wasn't the same dominant. I'm talking about 2014, 2015, destructive, where you never thought he was going to lose again. Because Paul Heyman's now mentoring both guys. So you could have a split in the middle where you could be like, look, Roman.
No, I disagree with that.
You're great.
I disagree with that. Oh, my. You go ahead and finish. Go ahead.
You can look at it. You can look at it where Paul Heyman is in the middle and he sides with Lesnar, and that could make Roman even more dominant because he could be like, "Look, Roman, you're great, but you're not Brock. I've been with Brock for years. You can't conquer the conqueror. You know how he said you can't conquer the ultimate beast. Even though he beat him at SummerSlam and everything, we all knew he was beating him at SummerSlam. I'm talking about where you felt like maybe you feel like it could be 50-50. Like, damn, bro, Brock, I don't know, bro. Like, Brock's real dominant. I could see him winning, but I could also see Roman winning too. I mean, I could see it going both ways. It kind of split in the middle.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying in that aspect. But as far as like, you're not Brock Lesnar, it's just like even if it wasn't like if we knew he was gonna win the SummerSlam, we only knew he was gonna win the SummerSlam because they put him in the match again and also he lost that Mania and in the Saudi Arabia show. And when he was a third match again, I'm just like, they got to put it on there now, otherwise you're wasting everybody's time. You know what I mean? But as far as like a dynamic, Brock Lesnar has always been the final boss, no matter who he is, who goes in the ring with. He's always going to be the final boss.
And then,
but you know what I mean? Roman beat him 100% clean already. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't think it's going to have that same feel. Plus, I don't think anybody wants to see Roman and Brock Lesnar again. I honestly don't.
To piggyback on that, it's just like we haven't seen like the monster, the beast incarnate Brock Lesnar. We haven't seen that Brock Lesnar against this Roman Reigns. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in that aspect, that would be amazing, and that
Plus,
would put him over more.
The one I'm trying to get at is that Brock may be dominant. Something Brock fell off to me after a couple years, bro. From like 2014 to 2016, he was so dominant, so believable to me. Never thought this guy was going to lose. But after a while, he didn't have that same feel to me personally. He didn't feel like the same dominant monster, in my opinion. I didn't have that same feel to me. Like I felt like he could lose matches when he went up against certain people, even though he didn't lose matches. But even I always felt like, when he went up against Braun Strowman, I was like, well, Braun Strowman could definitely destroy this guy. I feel like Braun Strowman is so believable now. He could, but even though he didn't, but I felt that's what I felt. Even when he went up against Seth Rollins, I was like, Seth Rollins is believable enough to beat this guy now. And he beat him twice in 1 year. So that's how I felt
important to plan. Yeah, but that's important to plan. You know what I'm saying? But it came to everybody else before Rollins. Then came to everybody else before Rollins. Lesnar blew through him. You know what I mean? Well, except for Daniel Bryan and AJ.
All right, this one right here. This is a good question right here. I like this one.
And Samoa Joe.
Who do you think had the most wasted potential in WWE?
Oh, shit.
Cesaro so far, maybe.
Shinsuke easily for me. I mean, if we're talking about main roster Shinsuke, if we're talking about main roster Shinsuke, I was always a big Shinsuke Nakamura fan. I followed his career in New Japan. I was always a Nakamura fan, and when he came to NXT, I'm like, oh yeah, this dude like world champion, like WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? And he won the NXT title and stuff like that. I was like, okay, but as soon as he came into the main roster, I'm like, all right, cool. We're gonna build him to he won the Royal Rumble. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is all set in stone. We're gonna have Shinsuke, WWE champion. He's gonna put on amazing matches. But no, he lost to AJ Styles, and then they turned him heel for whatever reason. But then when he turned him heel, it's like, okay, well, if you're going in this direction, then I guess that'd be pretty dope. Because when he first did it, it was like, all right, maybe WWE sees something in him. But no, he lost basically every single match for the title with AJ Styles, and I'm like, what was the whole point? You know what I'm saying? And then when he won the U.S. title and the Intercontinental Championship, I didn't care about that because it didn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't like run with it. He didn't do anything with it, in my opinion. So that's my take on it.
I think I like what Josiah said because that how it went down after like SummerSlam when he lost to Jinder. I was like. Everybody just took the wind out of his sail. I felt.
Oh my god!
I felt like that was a turning point. And then they did the heel turn was not timed properly in my opinion.
He had too many title opportunities and lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had, like by the time he faced Jinder, how many title opportunities did he already have? He had like 3 or 4 by then. He already lost all of them.
Yeah, like only had 2 or 2, I think. Yeah,
only had 2.
I want to say. But
no, because he fought AJ Styles like 3 different times.
No, I'm talking about before. You said before.
Yeah.
By the time he faced Jinder at SummerSlam, yeah. Oh no, you're right. That was
that was before the heel turn.
Look, There's quite a few that I feel like could have been a little bit bigger players so far, and maybe there's still some time for some of them. Like Cesaro, I'm interested to see what they're going to do with him now. Hopefully, they're going to do something because I'd like to see what he can really. Yeah, well, I know, but him going against Rollins, I feel like him getting that win might be pretty big. I don't know, or not. I don't know.
It's a big if.
That's one of those matches with Rollins, like Rollins versus Cesaro. I feel like that is a match that needs a title to kind of elevate Cesaro for some reason. I don't know if a win over Rollins is going to be enough to like push him to the next level, unless that means something. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hopefully,
yeah.
I think it would.
By the way, I'll say this: if they have a match at WrestleMania, which looks like they're going to have, I think it's the match of the fucking night. Both for any night. I don't care what that is. The match of the fucking century.
It's gonna be amazing. Like that's why I can't wait. Like I don't know about you guys, but every time these days when Cesaro's on TV, I'm like really invested in it. I was kind of satisfied with his performance in Elimination Chamber. Like I'm glad he wasn't the first one out. So to me, it feels like there's a little bit of hope there, and we'll see what happens. So for me, that's a big wasted potential. We've seen a number of times that's happened. Dolph Ziggler is another one that comes to mind.
Just talk about
Dolph Ziggler.
I'm a big Dolph Ziggler fan.
Please don't get me into Dolph Ziggler, bro. It really pisses me off when I think about his career, bro. Because it's like
that one's tough, for me. Those are my two. There's
not one thing. When I look at Dolph Ziggler's career, there's not one thing that I've never found that he does bad. He's good in the ring. He's good on the mic. He can sell his ass off. I'm just like, what does he do so bad that WWE looks at him and says, you know what? He doesn't have it. I don't understand.
He's like the Miz, where he does all those meet and greet stuff. He does all those interviews, and he does it all, man. And I met the guy, and he is like such a nice dude, man. Like he has that persona, approachable guy. Yeah, he's not the biggest, but you don't really need to be anymore. So
yeah,
I don't know. You guys saw that cash in, man, in 2013.
Exactly.
We saw it, and we all react. We didn't just see it. We reacted the same way.
I don't think any cash in matched that pop ever.
And you even look at Survivor Series when he was the sole survivor.
That's my prime example. That's my prime example of like Dolph Ziggler is he's fantastic in the ring. I don't know why he wasn't like elevated more. You know what I'm saying? Like that match. I was okay. So look, with Dolph Ziggler, it's like I was kind of like Dolph Ziggler, but after that Survivor Series match, I'm like, yeah, this dude, he can. I would 100% would love him to be the world champion and be the face of the company and be like the main top guy, because like he just has that in him.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I feel
like. I like your point of Cesaro. That's a good point. I'll say this about Cesaro. I really wanted to see Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan, but Cesaro versus Seth Rollins versus Seth Rollins versus fucking Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins versus Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. But I think Cesaro needs that match. I think he deserves that match. The promo work would have been better for Seth and Daniel, but Cesaro, he never had a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. So I'm like, bro, give it to Cesaro, man. Let him have it.
And you know what? I agree, and I take it back what I said, because a win on a WrestleMania card would be enough. So yeah, I do think that would be enough for him. And look, let's be honest. He re-signed a contract with WWE, which tells me that hopefully, he's signed to and he negotiated some sort of deal where he was going to get lifted a bit, I fear that he just kind of fell into that, okay, I'm another Dolph Ziggler, I'm doing my thing, and that's it. I really hope that's not the case, because obviously Dolph just, he's got that Tyler Breeze attitude. Okay, this is my role, this is what I'm doing, whatever. And that's all good, but I feel like, and that's okay. And we need guys like that. And look, even to this day, Dolph Ziggler is a tag team champion, right? So like he's still getting something here and there. He's getting a bone. Where the fuck is Cesaro's bone? Come on, man. It's been like a decade since the bastard was like U.S. champion. Give him something.
But he was tag team champion recently. Before
I forgot about that. Was that
the tag team champion with Nakamura?
Okay, his work with Sheamus was good. I love that,
Excuse me. What about you? Was your answer? Lou, gonna be Dolph Ziggler?
That was one of them. I had a list of them. That's why I slid out the chair. I'm like, oh, you said wasted potential. Should I go through the list?
I would say, go ahead, reach your list. Who you got?
All right, motherfuckers I got on the list. As of right now, Ricochet is one.
Sure.
Yeah, they fucking that guy all the way up. Hold on. Damn, hold on. I gotta scroll up. So I'm scrolling up because I'm looking through the roster right now. Andrade, another one. They fucked up so bad.
Andrade. Yeah,
Selena Vega before they fired her. That made me upset. What else? Who else? Drew Gulak.
Wade Barrett.
Yes, another one.
Yeah.
Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett for me.
Should have been a world champion at least once.
Oh, you know, is another one too, Mr. Kennedy, bro. Oh my god,
Mr. Kennedy, yeah.
Mr. Kennedy, fucking Rusev. Rusev was another one.
Oh,
Chad Gable right now.
There's really too many, man.
I'm gonna say for my answer, I'm gonna say for me, I'm gonna go with Braun Strowman.
John Cena. Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna say Braun Strowman. I'm gonna say
Malik wanted more of a push for Cena. Let's be honest.
He didn't do enough with Cena.
Yeah, I
wanted him. What you talking about?
I wanted him to have all the championships at once.
Malik wanted Cena to end the streak of Undertaker. Guaranteed, bro. I know you.
No, guaranteed.
Crucified that man.
See, he's not even smiling. He's like, yeah, for sure, man. Yeah.
I wanted him to have all the championships in WWE, have all the belts by himself, like Kurt Angle. Like Kurt Angle did in TNA, have all the belts at once. He was even the tag champ. He was even the tag champ by himself. My answer though is gonna be Braun Strowman. I feel like Braun Strowman was super believable, and he, to me, in my opinion, should have been pushed to be the next top monster in WWE. If you look at his run in 2017, bro, he was so over, bro. He was so
again, SummerSlam. They dropped the ball on that one too.
He's never gonna reach that. He's never gonna reach that height ever again.
Remember that?
And
Brock. Who was it? Brock, Strowman,
and Roman.
And Roman. They broke.
Oh, Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe. Fatal 4-way.
Nah, I think Samoa Joe's issue was injuries. That was it. It's just untimely injury. I don't think it's like
there's
ultimately
no logical excuse for Braun Strowman. I don't understand. And he was so believable, bro.
Yes.
Yeah,
he was so believable, bro. He had the look. He was believable, and I just felt like I for sure thought they were gonna push him to be the next monster.
Yeah.
Like the fact where you see him at now, and when he came out at number 30 in the Rumble, you shouldn't have been like, when he came out at number 30, you should be like, oh, it's fucking Strowman, okay. When he came out at number 30, you should be like, oh shit, here comes Braun Strowman. Like it's about to
look, I think that they shouldn't have they shouldn't have had him return on the fucking SmackDown 2 days before. That doesn't help. Just have him come. I feel like it would have been. Look, it wouldn't have been the best return of all time and the best number 30 of all time, but it would have been a better, segment into his return. You know what I mean? Like, instead we got him on Friday for what? The fucking the shit show at the end on the go home show? Come on. It's better than that.
If they was gonna put the belt on Strowman, it should have happened in the Saudi Arabia show. It should have happened.
It
Yes.
should happen before that. It should happen at No Mercy when he faced
Brock Lesnar.
Like when you said,
but I'm just saying,
or
it should have happened before that. But Saudi Arabia, the time when Roman vacated the championship, they should have never put it back on Lesnar. Put it on Strowman.
Yep.
Because it already showed that Strowman has the potential to beat Lesnar at any time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's because their matches were hella close. It was just down to down to the wire. You know what I mean?
And the fact when I got done with Strowman too at that Saudi Arabia show, when Brock Lesnar just destroyed him, bro. He F5'd him 5 times in a row. I was like, I can't believe they actually just destroyed Braun Strowman.
He did a punch too. He did the shoot. He punched him.
The punch. Yeah,
he actually connected because Strowman.
Oh yeah,
he hit him too hard.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Brock got upset with that one.
An accident and
giving him a receipt.
He gave the receipt. Yeah, no, absolutely.
All right, this is another question.
Right.
In the primes, who wins, Austin or Cena in the primes of their careers? I actually did a TikTok on that. I don't know if this was your question from TikTok. I did a video on this on TikTok. In the prime of their careers, I would say Steve Austin. Number one, Steve Austin to me is, in my opinion, the biggest star ever in wrestling history. And in the prime of their careers, people would be too mad if he beat Stone Cold Steve Austin. It wouldn't be a very smart decision, I think, because number one, as soon as they get in the ring, John Cena's getting instantly booed, 100%, because nobody's booing Steve Austin, nobody's booing Stone Cold. So, I think it would be the right decision for Austin to win. Just booking wise, it would make a lot of sense. So not too many people would be happy if he beat. It's one thing for him to beat The Rock, but to beat Stone Cold, people ain't gonna be happy about that.
Prime of their careers, I would, as much as I love John Cena, prime of their careers, I would 100% choose Austin. Most likely because Austin, it's like
Austin's so much more of a badass too. I mean, character-wise.
That's what I'm saying, and most likely because like Austin was like booked as he was Stone Cold. You know what I'm saying? Like he was booked as this dominant, sort of like a tweener. You know what I'm saying? Where like he's not really a good guy, but he's not a bad guy either. You know what I'm saying? He just does stuff just to raise hell. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And somebody like John Cena, where it's like he is basically throughout his whole career was that he was like the biggest baby face, right? And it's like with Cena, it's like you really don't really know, you really wouldn't want to have somebody like Cena be the one to beat Austin and get over. You know what I'm saying? So
it wouldn't unless Cena was gonna do like a heel turn or something, it'd be different, but
which wouldn't happen.
Which wouldn't happen. In the prime of their careers, it would have to be Austin, bro. Because like I said, as soon as they get in the ring, it's gonna be all boos for John Cena, all cheers for Stone Cold, and it's not gonna be. It's gonna be like one night stand, bro. Like if Cena, John Cena,
oh no,
one night stand was terrible.
Started on that night.
Terrible.
That
Come on,
night.
man. That was
as a Cena fan, that night.
That part right there. That's what I'm saying.
Yo.
If Cena wins, we riot. Like that was one of the posts. Cena wins, we riot. Like
that if John Cena would have won that night, he wouldn't have got out the ring safely, bro. They would have jumped in. They would have jumped him in the ring, bro. Fans would have jumped the barricade and they would have been in the ring, bro. It would have been dangerous. They would have knew what they was doing. I mean, as a kid, obviously I was pissed, but they were smart. They knew what they were doing. RVD better let that.
They cheered for Edge when he speared him through the table. Edge was supposed to be the most hated guy in the entire company.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Edge. Thank you, Edge. It was pretty bad, bro. But I think everybody's gonna pick Austin, so we'll move on here.
Yep.
This is a good question right here. I like this one. Do you think WWE should drop the gimmick pay-per-views?
I hate them.
TLC. I'm gonna say yeah. I've been saying yes for years.
I hate
yes.
them.
Well,
yeah.
I don't like
I don't like
them.
Say yes to Hell in a Cell, Money in the Bank, no to Elimination Chamber.
The only one I'm good with is Money in the Bank.
I probably wouldn't drop the gimmick pay-per-view if it's like it's like split down the middle. It's like certain gimmick pay-per-views, they work. Like Money in the Bank, that's a fantastic.
It works.
And Elimination Chamber, that's a good one as well. But things like Hell in a Cell, where it's like if the whole pay-per-view is called Hell in a Cell, right? Then I would. But like the main matches would both be like Hell in a Cell matches, so you wouldn't really care. You wouldn't really care about any of the other matches on the card, but the Hell in a Cell matches. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it just depends on what it is.
100% hate gimmick pay-per-views. I'm getting rid of every single one. I miss when the chamber match was unannounced and you didn't know what was going to happen, because that's when it felt great. All the best chamber matches were when you didn't know they were going to happen. Hell in a Cell. All the best Hell in a Cell matches are from our era when they were used to end rivalries or they felt important to some type of stipulation. They felt important. Like nowadays, they're just there just to be there, bro. They felt important when, when fucking Cactus Jack would get Triple H for the career match in Hell in a Cell. That was like fucking Hell in a Cell match, career match. It's huge, bro. When Shawn Michaels and Triple H had their beef for 2 years, they had a 2-year beef. It ended in Hell in a Cell, bro. We got it in Hell in a Cell, bro. It's the only way to do it. Hell in a Cell, bro. Like I miss when. It felt important. It doesn't feel important to me anymore. Exactly. TLC, the Chamber, Money in the Bank Money in the Bank should stay at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But I agree. But now you have the women involved, bro. So what, are you gonna have 2 Money in the Bank matches? That's the challenge.
But I think they should. If WrestleMania is going to be 2 nights moving forward, then why not?
Okay, look, I'm cool with it. I'm just saying you have to think that way, right? And you know,
only if it's gonna be. I see what you're saying though. Only if it's gonna be 2 nights though. If WrestleMania is not gonna be 2 nights,
if it's one night, it's really tricky. However, I will say this: you bring it back to WrestleMania. Well, now you really have that surprise factor, right? If they win that night, are they going to cash in that night? Like it makes WrestleMania that much more exciting. That's why I love that you know. And look, I do. The only gimmick pay-per-view that I kind of like because of the stipulation and how it is Money in the Bank. That's really the only one that I look forward to. Elimination Chamber I look forward to as well. But other than that, like you know, like you said, Hell in a Cell, TLC, like these matches when they're announced, it's sick. You know,
and like I used to like one of the main gimmick pay-per-views I used to like when I was little was Extreme Rules, because every single match, you know, back then it was just extreme, you know, like it was like maybe it was a ladder match or a tables match or a Hell in a Cell match or a steel cage, you know what I'm saying? Because like me as a little kid, I loved stuff like that about wrestling.
Yeah,
but
like that,
I remember back in the day, I remember back in like I think it was like 2016 or so. It was the Extreme Rules where Daniel Bryan and Kane were trying to fight for the tag team championship. I forget which Extreme Rules that was, but like dang near every match, like it wasn't even like it was just regular matches. You know what I'm saying? Like why would you make it Extreme Rules?
Regular matches on the card.
The same for night. Remember the Night of Champions? Every belt was on the line. That was a cool thing too. Like every championship was on the line. And then all of a sudden they started doing Night of Champions with like matches without the belt. I'm like, this pay-per-view called Night of Champions?
Like, I don't understand how that's like. How are you at a creative meeting with everybody and they're like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna take them off the table. Yeah, fuck these guys. No, yeah, I know we had it before, but I don't think it's a good idea. Oh, really? You and your fucking acting background think like fuck off, you know? Like I don't understand that. I don't like. Look, here's the deal. Extreme Rules, you can have like you know, like Josiah was saying, you can bring in elements, and you're like, okay, you can tune into Raw and be like, okay, shit, there's a feud going on. What kind of match is it going to be? Seth Rollins versus Daniel Bryan in a Hell in a Cell. Then you get excited. You're like, okay, cool. And so there's a Hell in a Cell. Maybe there's a TLC the same night, and you can announce it. And then you could do it throughout the year. The only gimmick pay-per-view that I liked and I think they should return, in my opinion, is King of the Ring. That shit was awesome. Who doesn't like a tournament? Tournament wrestling is the shit, guys.
But my thing is though, if you look at King of the Ring now, they're not really taken seriously, unfortunately. Like not like when we grew up. And King of the Ring was the shit when we grew up.
It's because of how they're televising it, man. It's because of how they're promoting it. If they bring back that pizzazz, I mean, look at the King of the Rings in the history, man. Like
look at King Booker. King Booker's a prime example.
King Booker,
like, that was one of the greatest. That was one of the greatest personas that Booker T ever had. I love that.
Here's the thing. Is my problem with the King of the Ring shit. You know what I mean? Because like once they get the King of the Ring, they change their fucking gimmicks to this goofy ass King shit. I think the last person should have done it was Booker T, and then everybody else stopped. Don't do that.
Booker T, that led him to the. That led him to the World Heavyweight Championship too. Like, so it's like, you know,
Sheamus had that Game of Thrones looking crown, goofy as hell. King Barrett,
Wade Barrett,
which went on for way, by the way. King Corbin now. Corbin, this went on way too long.
They let the shit go on for too damn long. Like,
you're right. You're right. You can have like when Bret Hart won or when Austin won, right? It's like
that like cemented his.
And those guys were amazing. They had
Austin 316 was born that night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's your example. Oh, you don't need to. You know why? Because Stone Cold. Look, and who has a better career out of all those jokers we just talked about?
Or you can even do it like, remember when they did it with Brock? When they did it with Brock, too. Like whoever won the King of the Ring get a shot at the belt, get a shot for the title at SummerSlam,
and have like a stipulation like that.
And then skyrocketed Brock to Brock wins King of the Ring. Now he faces The Rock at SummerSlam. Then he beats him, and it was like, bro, now Brock's self-made. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Something like that. Exactly. You can do something like that where you don't have to be called King of the Ring. Maybe you can get a shot like, King of the Ring. You win King of the Ring. You're gonna be fucking.
Really for what do you call it? For King Booker, that was it. It might be.
It was perfect.
So we'll move on. Let's move on. Okay, I'm just gonna answer some questions in a row. We'll kind of fly through some fast questions. Who's better, Goldberg, Kane, or Bobby Lashley? In the prime of their careers?
Prime of their careers?
I'm guessing he's saying prime of their careers.
How do you not take Goldberg?
I know, right?
I'm not a big fan of him, but how do you not take him?
Kane would be close.
Holy shit.
The only thing when Kane debuted, though, You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Kane would be close, but my only thing, the reason I'm going to.
But he lost to the Undertaker.
That's what I'm saying. Goldberg went 173-0 before he lost his first match, bro, and he was believable for every match. By the way, he fucking killed people. By the way, he was super believable. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Goldberg. Goldberg was monster, bro.
Yeah, gonna have to say.
But don't get me wrong. What would we consider Kane at his prime? Like debut Kane or unmasked Kane when he kidnapped motherfuckers?
Well, I'm gonna say
that nigga scared the shit out of me, bro.
Yeah, 98 Kane. I think 98 Kane would be his prime. 03 Kane was like revival because 03 Kane was like he came out in shackles and shit, and he was choke slamming people off stages and setting people on fire. And, like, he was on a different level.
I thought that was a good Kane. I just didn't like how he had like. That is weird though.
I'm with you on that, Lou, because a lot of people didn't like the fact that he unmasked. But I'm like, bro, if you look at when he unmasked, he was a monster for a couple months, bro. Before they ruined it, he was fucking like just destroying people, bro.
He was legit terrifying to look at.
You were scared.
Tombstone Linda McMahon on stage and fucking shit. Jim Ross on fire, electrocution McMahon's testicles, bro. Like he did some crazy shit, bro. Like he did some crazy shit, bro. He did some crazy shit.
Golden age of wrestling, man. Golden age of WWE when he electrocuted man's testicles. Like
he did some crazy shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie. This is a question right here. Should Keith Lee join the Hurt Business?
I think so.
I would have said that months ago. Now.
I don't see. Oh, sorry. Go.
When he had the title opportunity against Drew, that would have been the perfect time for him to join.
It's like
no.
With Keith Lee, it's like I don't see. Here's the thing. I probably would not take Keith Lee serious if he was a heel. I'm just gonna keep it point blank. Period. So
really,
it's like he's like a because like here's the thing about Keith Lee. It's like I like him more as a face. He has like this more. He's dominant, but then he's also a likable guy. But as a heel, it's like maybe it's probably just me, but I just don't see him as like a heel. Like I just see him as like an.
I see what you're saying. I mean,
but it's interesting though. We haven't seen it. We don't know what he.
We haven't seen it. Exactly. We haven't seen it.
True.
I feel what you're saying because some people I feel like are better as heels. Like I'll go on the record say right now, personally, I hate babyface Seth Rollins. I do not like babyface Seth Rollins. He's such a better heel to me.
And
same with Randy Orton. I hate Randy Orton should never be a heel. Should never be a face. Should never be a face. It's terrible when he's babyface. Always should be a heel. Some people are just built to be one of the others. Same with Johnny Gargano. Like I like Johnny Gargano, but he should be a babyface. He's just such a better babyface, and he's such a believable babyface.
But he's doing pretty good as a heel, though.
I don't like it. I'm not feeling it. I don't like it.
He's actually. Johnny Gargano is one of my favorite heels in NXT. If we're being real honest, he's not my number one favorite, but he's one of my favorites.
Okay, for me personally, I don't think he's a good heel. I don't like it. I don't like his heel work. I think he's such a better babyface because he's such a he's so good at getting emotion out of fans. You know, every time he came close to the belt and he lost, you felt bad for him. Like fuck man,
Johnny wrestling. You know, that's how they built him. Yeah.
Same with Bayley. When Bayley was in NXT, she was such a good babyface, bro. Every time she lost,
Bayley
you felt bad for her.
I don't think she's a horrible heel. Nah, she was doing
me either.
work.
I can't get behind it.
I mean, when she started, though, it was rocky. Don't get me wrong.
It did.
It grew on me. Her heel work grew on me. It grew on me.
Yeah, when it first happened, I was like, Bayley, no. But like when she aligned with Sasha and she had like that long title feud, I'm like, yeah, like this is one of some of her best work now. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Top notch work.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No, did you put your 2 cents on it? I don't know if you said anything.
Well, it's tough. Like a lot of you guys are saying, like, you know, a couple of months ago would have been better, but now, like, what do you do? And if they really are going to push Bobby Lashley and give him a title, like, I would have, if Lashley didn't have the title, you can kind of go with that like Nation of Domination sort of angle where they kick out Farouk, and then you could have Keith Lee sort of spearhead that and sort of take over that role, you know, like that big dude for instead of Bobby Lashley. But with Bobby Lashley as the title, it kind of looks weird for the champion to get a beatdown from a group. I would think, unless they could really do it in a super creative way, I wouldn't do it. Unless, again, like if you do it that way, fine. Have Keith Lee be the guy to kick out Bobby Lashley and he has the title. Great. And then maybe that could elevate Keith Lee, but I don't know. I mean,
that would hurt Lashley though.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want Lashley to get hurt,
me neither. And that's what I'm saying.
Bro,
But
that's one of the
if they didn't get the title, I would do it that way.
That's one of the main reasons. That's one of my biggest fears about Bobby versus Brock, because I'm afraid it's not going to be booked properly, because we've seen how the matches are when Brock faces the big guys like Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman. Sometimes he destroys them and he always beats them, and their momentum is never the same afterwards. That's my only fear.
Nope.
If like Lou said, if it's booked properly, I'm 100% for it. But it has to be booked right. It has to be booked correctly. So
I don't know
I probably would have said it. I probably would have said Keith Lee to join the Hurt Business if Bobby Lashley didn't have the U.S. Championship. Keith Lee joins the Hurt Business, put Keith Lee in the mid card, get Bobby Lashley that title because he deserved that.
Okay.
All right. What about this one? Opinions on AEW's women's division?
It's okay.
It's getting better. It's getting better.
It's definitely
it's better than Impact's.
No, it's not better than Impact.
We're not gonna talk about Impact Wrestling because I grew up with Impact Wrestling, and
you think the women's
the women's division is better than they have arguably the second best women's division
right now with Impact Wrestling.
Impact Wrestling, yes.
No,
I would say
it don't hit different for me right now. It's just because when I grew up in Impact Wrestling, I grew up when Impact Wrestling had like Sting, AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Hulk Hogan up in there. I grew up on that, and I watched it in like an episode like a couple days ago or like a couple weeks ago, I think. And I don't know, it's like it didn't hit the same for me, and I don't know, it's probably just me.
It's just a different feel now. You know what I mean?
I feel
Impact's,
like
go ahead.
Go ahead, Lou.
Oh yeah, it's just Impact's women's division has been booked really solid. You know what I'm saying? They just brought back the Knockouts tag team championships. They use their women a lot better. You know what I mean? And the work rates is really good as well. Like Jordan Grace, Deonna Purrazzo, when they had Taya. You know what I mean?
Did you watch No Surrender?
Say again?
Did you watch No Surrender?
Yeah. I didn't get a chance to see that.
Okay. Look, I'll be 100 with you. I haven't watched a lot of Impact Wrestling. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
When I watched that pay-per-view, I wasn't impressed with Jordan Grace. Not at all. I was a little bit more impressed with Deonna or whatever, however you pronounce it. I forget
Deonna
right
Purrazzo,
now.
Yeah, Deonna Purrazzo.
Right.
Yeah, she's a better technician. She's
really good. Yeah, she's solid. But everybody else in that match, I was like, the timing, everything was just, in my opinion, it was a clusterfuck. Other than that, I was impressed with Fire and Flava. Those guys, they're good. Those are good.
Yeah, they're good.
I mean, look, I hate to say it, they kind of remind me of one of them, of Sasha Banks. Let's just be honest. Very similar. I don't remember, man. The one with the blue hair, the purple hair, bro. I guess. All right, fine, cool. I thought so, but anyways, it's not a bad comparison, is what I'm saying. So I was impressed with that tag team, but even on the other side of that match, I was like, okay, whatever. Like I wasn't really feeling the women's division, man. So
yeah, I will say that AEW's weakest link is the women's division, but it's getting better. It's getting better.
It's getting
it's starting to get there.
Yeah,
I like what they're doing with the tournament now. The only thing that sucks is that the Japanese person is going to be on YouTube. But when I see the presentation of it on the Japan side, I understand why. You know what I mean? That wouldn't look good on TV. To be honest.
Okay,
but I think NXT has these. I think NXT has the best,
the strongest women's division.
Oh yeah, NXT has.
I don't know if you were splitting, WWE with NXT before. Maybe you weren't, and that's why you went with Impact in a second. But you were okay.
I wasn't splitting them.
Okay, this is a good question. This the LeBron fan 23 wants to know, man. All time, who's better, Hulk Hogan or John Cena?
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, good question.
Who's better all time? I see some people in the chats. A lot of Cena. I see Cena, Hogan. Some people.
I'll give you this. Right? I'll give you this. Hulk Hogan is what got a lot of people into wrestling, right? Hulk Hogan is what elevated the the WWF, WWE, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But see, with Cena, it's like it's two entirely different eras. You know what I'm saying? Like Cena was the face of his era. Hogan was the face of his era. If we're talking about matches, I'd probably go Hogan. If we're talking about overall storyline and like character building, I'd probably go more towards Cena because he put a lot of superstars over. He made names from a lot of superstars, and he also made a name for himself at the same time. So if we're going Hogan or Cena, most likely I'd probably choose Hogan just because of that. Just he's what elevated pro wrestling. That's just my take on it.
What do you think, X?
It's gonna hurt me to say this one, but it's Hogan, man.
Oh,
he put wrestling on the map, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
And growing up in my family, all I heard was Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan. Like
Hulk Hogan.
Cena's there, and then come on, man.
Yep.
Hulk Hogan picking up Andre the Giant. You always gonna remember that.
Yep. Hogan, but
always. Yo, that's why it's hurting me to do it because I feel you on that, Lube.
I understand.
Yeah,
Hulk Hogan. It's tough because Hulk Hogan changed. I mean, single-handedly changed wrestling. If you ask me, he changed professional wrestling to this day. But you can argue the fact that nobody probably had a longer run on top than John Cena, bro. I mean, he was on top for like 3 decades.
True.
Which is 3 different decades. He was the face of like 3 decades, bro. And despite whether people like John Cena or not, John Cena never changed his character and always remained relevant throughout his entire career. He always remained relevant throughout his entire career without changing his character. Because you look at all the top guys, all of them turned heel or did something at least once. Hogan turned heel, Rock turned heel, Austin even turned heel. At WrestleMania.
But you can't tell me that you wouldn't have liked to see it. Right? Like,
I'm not saying I wouldn't like to see it, but it never happened. It never happened.
Nobody wanted, in my opinion, nobody wanted to see the same John Cena for 15, 20 years. Nobody did.
Personally, as a John
nobody
Cena
did.
fan.
I'm saying nobody did, but nobody did, but he remained. You can't deny it. He always remained relevant. He was always important.
That's what I'm saying. Like personally, like a John Cena fan, it's like, his kind of like babyface run went on for like way too long, in my opinion. And it's like when he brought back like the word life Cena and stuff like that, it was a special occasion, but it could also like take like a more like different heel turn, kind of like how Hulk Hogan did with Hollywood Hulk Hogan in the NWA. So I don't know. It's like maybe if Cena changed his character, then maybe.
Yeah. Not his fault.
Yeah,
but
I'm just saying.
Like, nope.
As far as like and I stand by this. I don't think if Hulk Hogan never left WWF, I don't think Vince McMahon would ever turn him heel. I think he looks at John Cena and Vince the same way. He never would have turned him heel. They're 2 good guys that were left to the kids too much, and I don't think he would have ever turned either guy heel. But all the top guys that turn heel, besides Cena, you know what I'm saying? Of course, we would love to see him turn heel at least once. You know what I'm saying? Like this one time, he never got it at least once. But he had a long run and always
he was heel before, but it's just
technically. Technically, Thugonomics Cena was a heel.
Thugonomics heel, but
Thugonomics Cena was a heel.
The best version of Cena, but that's just my personal opinion.
Thugonomics Cena was
agreed.
Popular.
Everybody can agree with that for sure.
He was so damn popular.
And Hogan did it. Hogan did this all in an era with no social media, no internet. Like he was that household, worldwide name, bro.
Plus, I don't think
he was like that's not easy to do, man.
Plus, I don't think back then too. I don't think a lot of people. I mean, Malty probably really because he was a Hogan fan. I don't think a lot of people got tired of seeing Hogan win like they did with Cena back then. Because back then wrestling was different. So a lot of people.
Hogan took more losses than Cena.
Bret Hart was on his rise.
I believe.
Yeah, he did.
They did get tired.
Well, I don't know. I disagree.
Like it was always Cena loses the belt, next pay-per-view gets it back.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Holds it for 5 months, pay-per-view he loses.
I don't know. I'll let Mounty answer that because number one, he's more from that era, and obviously a Hogan fan. But I don't think a lot of people were really too upset if Hogan beat Warrior at WrestleMania. I don't think too many people would have been too mad about that.
See, the thing is Hogan put over some major players, players, guys that who knows what could have happened to them had he not decided to do the job that night. Guys like Undertaker, Yokozuna, like these are big losses he took, man. Like
exactly
when everybody thought that he was going to be the man to go over it, like he always has. No, he decided or whoever decided, like. Those are some big losses. And I'm just saying, I don't really know how many monumental losses John Cena took in his career to really elevate the next guy.
Not many.
And I think that's it ends the argument there almost.
Prime example, that's what for like, because I never, I didn't grow up in that era, but I do got the WWE Network. And one of my favorite WrestleMania matches, now that I've seen, I saw it like a month ago, I think, was Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior, title for title.
Bro.
And
another one,
that match right there,
100%.
right there, like elevated the Ultimate Warrior just even bigger. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
the only one that he didn't do, which thankfully didn't hurt the future of, was when the Mega Powers imploded. And I felt like a lot of people think Macho should have won that. I don't know about it. Like, I feel like maybe like that was a tough one. Like, I think Hogan, I think they were right to do it because they knew Macho would just bounce right back.
Even look at when
Hogan was the villain in that story.
You even look at
the luster.
You even look at you brought up a good point, man. You even look at when Goldberg beat him for the belt, bro. That was huge for Goldberg because he was still undefeated at the time, and nobody undefeated. Everyone in the world at that point. So
I'm going to turn it around on you now, Malik. Like I asked a rhetorical question, but you're the biggest John Cena fan that I know. Can you think of a moment where he put somebody over that really Orton didn't need to be? He didn't need to be. He was already
the only person I can think of would be AJ Styles at SummerSlam. I think that works for AJ Styles.
Okay.
Because
Daniel Bryan.
Because AJ got a good.
That's all I was gonna say. Daniel Bryan.
I just thought about it.
Relax. Everybody's talking at once. Everybody's talking at once, bro. Relax. AJ would be one of them. Because AJ went on to win the belt at once, so he got the belt afterward. He got a good push after that. Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam, but my only thing is, one of the reasons I think Daniel Bryan only won because John Cena was hurt, so he had to lose the belt. He had to have surgery after that, so he couldn't stay. After he the next night he said he was leaving. So I don't know if he wasn't hurt. I don't know if he really would have really got that title win. Maybe you could say CM Punk Money in the Bank. That was a huge win for Punk at the time. That was big. That was big for. That was big for Punk because I don't know about you guys, but that was kind of unpredictable for me because I was like, I didn't really know what was going to happen during that match. I was like, I don't know. Obviously, we didn't know backstage reasons. We didn't know anything about the backstage stuff because, but for the build-up, we were kind of like, I didn't really know what was going to happen. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen in this. So I would definitely say AJ Styles for sure. I feel like AJ after that, AJ was like, main event level. But other than that, you can't really think of it. Anybody else that I think of, maybe it's on my head.
Yeah, but still, those are three good examples, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah, CM
Punk for sure. But
yeah, money because that was a big because
that was a big one. Didn't he have a big reign after that, or am I confusing it?
No, that was the year afterwards, the year prior.
The year after. Okay.
Yeah. That was the year prior.
Too bad.
Because that would have been even more so. Alberto Del Rio, I think that's when he had that big reign.
Man.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Hogan though. Hogan all time. He's on my Mount Rushmore, even though I don't like him, but I gotta have Hulk Hogan. Yeah. He changed wrestling, bro. So
yeah. Fuck Hulk Hogan.
You're wearing yellow and red.
I just love saying this.
You're literally wearing yellow and red.
Who's your favorite?
All that, okay? I'm rocking all that merch. Don't give me that. Rocking, I'm yelling. Don't you disrespect me.
Favorite current wrestler right now?
Damn, that's hard.
Favorite current wrestler right now? It is hard.
I have too many.
Honestly, for me, mine's Roman Reigns, bro. I really dig the shit that he's doing, bro. He's won me over. I'm saying that he's won me over heavily.
Is WWE or
it's his current right now. I'm gonna say WWE wise. I'll go all promotion. Tetsuya Naito, New Japan. For AEW, man, for a while it was Orange Cassidy, but now I'm starting to get behind Kenny Omega again because he started to get that old, feel cleaner heel version back, and that's the version of Kenny Omega I like. So I'm gonna say Kenny Omega. For NXT, I'm gonna say Pete Dunne for NXT, bro. I've always liked Pete Dunne. He was always one of my favorites for NXT. I've always liked him. But main roster wise, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, WWE wise, main roster wise, I'm not gonna lie, I 100% go for Bianca Belair. I mean, like I always like Bianca Belair, but like right now with what she's doing right now, for like she won the Royal Rumble. I was always a big Bianca Belair fan when she won the Royal Rumble, and now she's facing my favorite women's wrestler of all time, Sasha Banks. But and most likely Bianca Belair is gonna win. Most likely, but it's just like the work that she's doing right now, like building her up like this. Like I love what they're doing with her.
I like Bianca. She's dope, man. Bianca's real good.
Mm-hmm.
But what about you, X? What are you thinking?
Favorite
let me say. Let me think. Let me guess. Jeff Hardy.
Because that's not.
Jeff Hardy for WWE, Matt Hardy for AEW.
You stupid. For WWE, Seth, man. You know that. For AEW, it was Moxley, man, but after seeing the stuff that Kenny Omega does, like, because I've heard of Kenny Omega in the other promotions.
Yeah.
But this is the first time I'm actually getting to see everything, and I'm like, man, this guy, he's got me sold.
He's good, bro.
I can't wait for this match against him and Moxley. It's gonna be
the death match. Oh my gosh, bro, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane.
And that's another thing. Finally, Moxley has found someone who will do that type of stuff with him. So I can't.
So Mountie, yours is gonna be Randy Orton.
I love Randy Orton. Massive.
But that's a good pick though. That's a good pick though.
He's really a massive Randy. Randy Orton's a guy, man.
Randy Orton is my guy.
Oh yeah,
I love him so much. I'm a big Drew McIntyre fan. I've been a big fan since like 2008, I would say, or 7. Okay. Since the chosen one gimmick. As soon as he came out, I was sold. I loved them. The only time I wasn't super interested was the 3MB stuff, but it was still making me laugh, Mm-hmm. So I still kind of loved them. AEW, I'd have to say FTR, amazing. In my opinion, best tag team in the world right now. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. That's just who I feel is the most entertaining to watch and the most believable tag team wrestling out there is these guys. I also like the Briscoes. Those are good too. So I guess, we forgot about that. I also, other than that, I would say it's Chris Jericho, obviously. Chris Jericho, every time he's on TV, I'm listening. So he has that it factor for me, 100%. Impact, I'm still kind of getting into. So I mean, I kind of like Josh Alexander. I think it's an underrated. It might be a low end pick for me, but I feel like he's really good. Or I don't know. That's that. Those currently right now, those are my guys. I'm a big Seth Rollins guy as well. And then Impact from a tag team standpoint, I guess I'll have to go with the Good Brothers right now. And I've been also like a massive Wolves fan, so Eddie Edwards I like too.
Let me get through that list. Because I got a list too. I was like, let them get through because I got a list too. All right. But it's not all right, for each promotion. WWE. Favorite character, Roman. I like Roman. But in ring, AJ Styles. For NXT, I'm a Johnny Gargano fan. Like, I'm always like super invested in his matches, and that guy is just like, if you just saw his match with Kushida,
oof.
Woo!
Oh yeah,
top work right there. Going back to Impact, my favorite guy, and I think it's a person that's been overdue a title run and needs to happen soon. Moose,
I like Moose.
People forget about Moose, like
100%. 100%.
And he's stepped up like tremendously, especially after his program at EC3 and he started being more serious. Almost like, this is the Moose. We need that. I like that. AEW, Moxley in the tag division. I'm a Young Bucks fan. You already know if you see my page. Yep. I'm super kicking the shit out of my phone.
FTR should have won that match.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, okay.
Another Cody Rhodes.
Great match though.
Great match. For the women, Sasha Banks and WWE. Sasha Banks. I love Bianca Belair, but my first love definitely Sasha Banks. I think I'm missing something.
Man of culture. Man of culture.
Mm-hmm.
Oh fuck! Can I just, bro? I as far as Impact, I love that hillbilly group with Eric Young. I'm feeling it. I don't know why.
Oh, you're talking about Violent by Design?
Hell yeah, man! I'm feeling that shit.
They wouldn't be a hillbilly group. Well, at least not no more. I
know
I'm
one white. I'm the white guy here. They're hillbillies.
Okay. I'm not gonna say you got that. You got that.
I'll give you permission. You're allowed to say it.
You can say it. You can say it.
Say that shit.
You can say it.
On behalf of my people, you could say that shit. Out there.
Oh,
I love it. That big tall bastard, that big tall Jake the Snake looking motherfucker there.
Oh yeah.
So, what's the question? Another question.
Paul Dolan or some camera.
Yeah.
All right, this is
moving on.
This is an interesting question. Any WWE?
Naito. Sorry, go ahead. My bad. I was gonna say Naito for New Japan.
Any WWE stars that would surprise you if they went to AEW?
That'll be a surprise.
That would surprise you.
Shocker.
So, guys jumping ship going to AEW, right?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Big Show kind of threw me. I didn't see that.
That threw me way off.
Yo,
that came out of nowhere.
See that coming at all.
I thought that was a joke.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me, man. Right. Honestly, honestly, the only person that would surprise me would be like a big star, bro, like a Cena or somebody who's not there anymore. Like that, like a Brock Lesnar. If he showed up, I'd be like, holy shit, Brock's an idiot. Like, no,
I think a Daniel Bryan would be a groundbreaker. You know, like Daniel Bryan. I'd but here's the thing, like, what would surprise me? That's the question. What would surprise me? Certain things wouldn't surprise me. Cesaro going there wouldn't have surprised me. You know?
Yeah.
But like a Daniel Bryan, maybe.
You know who would be a surpriser for me too? Somebody like a Charlotte or something, like Charlotte Flair or something like that.
Yeah.
There's gotta be a main man. There's gotta be a main man or woman in WWE to jump ship. It's the only way it'll be like generally surprising.
Or a legend like Big Show. Like, no, I didn't see Big Show. It surprised me. I'm like, oh shit.
I thought it was a meme. I thought somebody was just fucking with like the fans.
That's what I thought too. And then that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, that really surprised me, man. That was a shocker too. I would say that. We'll go with that. It has to be somebody that would be like a legend or somebody that has a big star feel.
Somebody that looks like a WWE
lifer.
Like
Shane McMahon going to AEW.
Shane McMahon? Oh.
Shane McMahon.
He's now the
owner. Do it all over again.
Okay, this one can kind of be a question we can fly through. It's kind of simple, so it's just one answer. King of the Spear. Who's the King of the Spear? I'm just gonna
Goldberg.
Easy.
Goldberg.
That shit look like it hurt.
Yeah.
Always look like it hurt.
Rhino was pretty decent too at a point.
Goldberg. The Gore.
Second.
I don't know. It's just like maybe
third Roman.
He's done some big gores, man. He's
like, Rhino's
King of the Spear though. It's like with
Edge's is like a one arm like spear.
It's Goldberg. Every time in the prime of his career, every time Goldberg speared somebody, you feel like it hurt, bro. I felt bad for Goldberg.
Especially when he did
the
Rock.
Thing is, I would say Roman Reigns because it's like when Roman Reigns does a spear, he flies his whole body into it. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Me personally, I'll go Roman Reigns.
That's true. Goldberg is like
an underrated spear though. You know who has an underrated spear though? The Big Show.
Yeah.
You seen him do the spear?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Big Show, okay.
It's not there all the time, but
it's not bad. It's a big motherfucker tackling the shit out you like that.
I remember that.
Yeah, like if I were to take a spear from the Big Show, that'd be the most devastating spear I've ever took. But you got a point there.
I remember that. I was saying Roman has a good one too.
Bobby Lashley and Moose, both of them.
Yeah,
Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley.
Put them both together because they both do it similarly. They have that little flip. They spear you and then they do a little roll at the end of it.
Yeah. Those are good ones too. I like Bobby Lashley too. I like when he does the flip. I would still say Goldberg though, but like Goldberg, bro, when he just runs, I feel like he's like an offensive lineman tackle, bro. He just fucking going right to you, bro. Like he's not even gonna. I just feel bad for him. Like every time he spears somebody, I feel bad for him. But like when he speared Christian on Raw, oh my gosh, bro, I thought he was dead. He was dead, bro.
And
he's dead.
Charlotte has the best women one.
Yeah, she does.
Best women one.
Yeah.
Same.
I can see
Luke brought up a good one too. When he speared The Rock in his debut, bro, I felt like The Rock's ribs were broken. Bro.
Oh man,
I thought so too. I was like, he broke that man's ribs.
Are we not forgetting forgetting how when Goldberg freaking speared Dolph Ziggler? Dude looked like he got killed. Like,
the thing with
come on
Dolph
now.
Ziggler, though, with Tate,
broke
but that man Dolph Ziggler was flying back too much. So I'm just like, damn, you oversell like.
The same.
The overselling king.
You can see him throw.
That's what I'm saying. Overselling king. Overselling king.
You can even look at when he speared Lesnar in the match when he came back, bro. Like the first spear hit him, I was like, oh shit, bro, because Lesnar was sounding that good, bro. He was. I was like, oh shit,
when he speared Jericho through the elimination chamber pod.
Oh my god!
Y'all remember that?
Oh yeah, that one hurt.
Goldberg was so. That's what Goldberg's character was so freakishly. That's the only reason. That's the only good thing about Goldberg's character. Really, his character was so believable, bro. So dominant, bro. I remember when he used to pick motherfuckers up like this, and he used to gorilla press them, and he used to fucking like body slam him like right after that, bro. I'm like, this motherfucker is a monster, bro.
Beast.
Like, and he do that thing with his face and shit. Fucking that Goldberg thing with his face and shit. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker.
We forgot about Batista's spear. He had a pretty good one too.
Yeah,
Batista had a pretty good spear, yeah. Batista had a pretty good spear.
I like what he did to Elijah Burke that one time. That spear was kind of like a spine buster.
Oh yeah,
bro. That was
nasty.
Beautiful one.
That was brutal.
Mm-hmm.
This one. Do you think Cesaro will ever be world champion?
Nope.
Aye.
Not in WWE. Let me be specific. Not in WWE.
I can agree with that too. I don't think he'd be world champion in WWE. I could get behind that.
I'm giving him one reign. I'm giving him one world heavyweight reign in WWE. I'm giving him one. And it's not going to be a big reign. It's going to be a Zack Ryder moment. That's it. I'm giving him one reign.
Nah,
I can't even give him
like
the one.
I'm hopeful.
No one was done dirty.
I can't
I at least hold it until the pay-per-view though. Like I had to at least hold it until the pay-per-view.
But we all went crazy.
That was heartbreaking.
That was sick. That was when he won.
I was shocked. I wouldn't see it, bro. This is a good question. Thoughts on Rhea Ripley, bro? So for me, y'all talked about. This is me, my opinion, personally. I've been a massive fan of hers for years, and
me too.
Everybody's high on Bianca Belair and stuff. I want Rhea Ripley to get a massive push, bro. Her momentum hasn't been the same since she lost to Charlotte last year at WrestleMania. She was on fire going into that match. She had a lot of momentum. And it hasn't been the same since then. I feel like they need to build her back up, man. They owe her that. They have to start building new stars for the women's division. You can't keep relying on Sasha and Bayley and Charlotte and Becky. You have to build new stars. So Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair are the two that I'm looking at. They have superstars all over them. If you ask me, they have to be pushed heavily. So Rhea Ripley, she's a star. I see it in her.
Yeah, well, they're both a part of that next wave, right? That next wave of you have the 4 horsewomen, and that's all good, and that you have so much potential, and not even potential. Like they're doing it now. They've done it, and like you said, you can't always recycle the same 4. So and they got a lot out of him, and I'm not saying that it's going to be anything different for a bit. You can incorporate the two. You can have the dream feuds and stuff like that. And for me, Rhea Ripley, like I'm a big Charlotte fan. Out of all 4 of them, that's my girl. And my next favorite right now is going to be Rhea Ripley. And we all like the ones that are coming up. We all like the new blood coming. It's always like that, guys. Wrestling is always like, okay. I like that one. And then, okay, now I like this next one coming. I mean, now people are getting on like Dakota Kai's dick. You know what I mean? Also, and it's like, okay, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's great. She's awesome. But let's relax a little bit, So yeah, for me, it's Rhea Ripley for sure. All the way.
Rhea Ripley, she was always as far as NXT women goes, she was my favorite of all time. And I said this on my TikTok.
I wouldn't say all time. He said all time. I wouldn't say all time, but she was my favorite at the time.
She's part of the future.
I said it on my TikTok. You know what I'm saying? If Rhea Ripley does get called up, well, she is going to get called up. But when they book her, like they need to book her as like the most destructive force that like we've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Because like we know how Rhea Ripley is. Like we've seen her in NXT. I don't think she should go after the title just yet because I mean she just kind of walked in the door. But you know what I'm saying? She would. You can still build her up as that top star that I know she is.
They got to do it with Shayna first, man. What the fuck are they
tried with Shayna and they fucked it
I
up.
agree with Shayna.
Nah, there's still time. There's still time.
They fucked it up. Like, dude.
Nah, there's still time. So much time.
Oh, not this question.
I don't know how much time. You know what I mean? Shayna's not young. She's not young.
Not this one, man.
Were you heartbroken when Seth Rollins turned on the Shield? I was there when I was there when it happened, bro. I was in attendance, bro, when this shit happened, bro. I was live.
Dude, Malik, did you hear the person scream no when it was about to happen?
We all heard it. And,
It was you. It was Malik that said it.
It was Malik. I'm telling you.
But out of all people though, I probably would have done Roman Reigns. Out of all people, I would not have thought Seth Rollins would have done it. You know what I'm saying? Because Roman Reigns was like the more believable person. Because he was seen more as like the muscle.
But see, I think this is why the Seth heel turn. I think this is why the Seth heel turn.
Lou, I'm with you. I thought it was going to be Ambrose.
Yep.
See, this is why I think the Seth was a good heel turn because nobody saw it coming. It was unexpected.
That's true.
And nobody saw it. And Seth was a good heel at the point too. He had a good run in that year in general.
Yeah.
So, and you got to think too. They just beat Evolution the night before too. So like they had so much momentum behind them. They were hot.
And plus, I wasn't really with like babyface Shield. Like Shield, they're just natural heel. That's like a natural heel faction.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I like babyface Shield. They were good. They were just too undeniable. They're at the point where they're just too undeniably popular to like keep them booed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at that time, there was Daniel Bryan and the Shield. They carried Raw for years. They carried that I think for like those 2 years they carried Raw, bro.
Yeah,
the most entertaining thing about it. The thing that like upset me about like Seth Rollins, it didn't upset me. I'm sorry, but like it caught me off guard. That's why I agree with you, Malik. You're just like, no one saw it coming. But I remember like the Shield was about to implode years prior, and Seth Rollins brought them back together. So I was like, it can't be Rollins.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, me too.
But they also got it. But you know what? They also got us twice because when Dean turned on Seth that night, I didn't see that coming either, bro. That shit fucking like,
me either.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
They could have did that.
That was like
so much better.
They booked that.
Shut
I
up.
think they booked it.
I agree. They could have done better.
The rivalry wasn't done right, but I think the heel turn was booked good because not only was it on the night that Roman announced leukemia, but they just won the tag title. So it's like, they won the tag belts. Okay, then the tag champs down, and all of a sudden he just fucking turns on them. I'm like, what? They just won the belts. Like that was really shocking. But I was there that night. Let me tell you, bro. Like the crowd was like in awe. Like people were like silent. People didn't know how to react to it, bro. Like people were like they didn't know how to react to it, man. People didn't know how to think. Like, oh shit, like
it was executed very well, of course. With Hunter with the plan B and the whole thing. Like these are memorable moments, guys. Like that are cemented. Like, we've seen so many heel turns over the years. That was special.
Think about this. This was in 2014, bro. WWE was watchable back then. This wasn't even that long ago. This was 6 years ago, bro. WWE was watchable every week. You it was you had to tune in every single week. Look at where it is now. It's just so sad to see where it's at now, bro. It's not even that long ago, and it's very sad to see where it is now. This is an interesting question. What was the funniest moment of DX?
Oh man,
100%. I got this. But I'll let you first though.
Mine. We'll go in order. I'll start and then we'll just go order number one.
Okay.
Hopefully nobody says mine, y'all.
For me, mine would have to be when they impersonate the McMahons, bro. That shit.
Damn,
come on, bro.
That's my favorite moment of all time.
That shit was golden, bro.
I'm pretty sure
that was my favorite.
Look at me, Dad. Look at me.
That was
that was golden. I liked it when they impersonated The Rock and everything too, man. That was good shit.
Yeah, the Nation.
Dude, I just did it before in the kitchen. Like to my wife, I'm like, oh, woo. The Croc just came back from the bathroom, and woo, you should have smelled what the Croc was cooking. Like that shit was awesome, man. Like,
didn't age well though. Did not age well.
Didn't age well.
Oh, 100.
These motherfuckers came out in blackface. What's that?
100.
Triple H.
Oh yeah.
These motherfuckers came out in blackface.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up. My bad.
I know it's all good.
I forgot.
Yeah.
But it was booked. It was booked at the right time. It was booked. It was booked during the right era.
They can't cancel them now. It's too late.
No, it was booked in the right era. It was booked during the right time for the right era. I mean, it was the Attitude Era. So
it's bad.
They did all types of shit. But nowadays, you're looking at it like nowadays.
The whole WWE would have got canceled. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, they would have.
But mine would have been the McMahons, bro. That shit, that shit was just comedy, bro. When they came out, Triple H came out, and I don't even know if y'all remember this, bro. This. Oh my gosh, bro. This is the difference between wrestling then and now, bro. This was only the Ruthless Aggression era. I don't even know if you remember this now, but Triple H started cutting the promo how Vince loves dicks, bro. And he was like, he loves black dicks. He loves white dicks.
It was the same segment.
Yeah, and he said the word. He was saying dick too. He was saying dick. He was like, big ones, black ones, short ones, tall ones.
But his setup for it was smart.
Yeah, it
was so smart because that's the way he got away with it. Because he was naming all these famous people named Dick.
Yeah.
He was like Dick Eversole.
And it was clean.
Dick Clark.
Dick Cheney.
Yeah.
Dick Cheney. You know.
He likes all kinds of dicks. Big dicks, small dicks.
And then hold on. Also, and then he cut in the
Hunter
promo
is so good at that shit, bro.
And then he cuts this promo on dicks. And then Shawn Michaels comes out and he's just fucking dancing like a fucking mental institution patient. Like he's just dancing profusely. And he's dancing so much, and then they start, and then the McMahon's and the Spirit Squad come out, and they dump the shit on him, and it's like, bro, that whole segment was just golden, bro.
Was that real shit?
You know what?
No way. There's no way that could be
that real shit.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Vince
Me
McMahon.
either.
It's
He's
Vince.
willing to do anything for the show.
So come on, bro. We're talking about you got to think. Hold on, Vince McMahon maybe did, but you have to hit other people to reach that. He wasn't the only one involved in that too, bro. You got other people to be like, hey, look, bro, we're gonna dump shit on this. And,
who was it? It was
Shane and the Spirit Squad. So it was more than one person in there, bro. It was multiple people in there.
That's true.
You get shit dumped on you, bro. I don't care if you're my boss, Vince. I'm like, Vince, you can't convince me that I'm gonna get shit dumped. We're talking about real shit, bro. We're talking about real life doo doo. My guy, come on, bro. Like this. If you were talking about
it's like, Vince, you have to throw hands. If you whoop me in hands, then I'll do it.
Bro, listen to me. He better approach me with the fattest paycheck I've ever seen in my life. Before he even say nothing, I'm talking about tons of zeros on this check. He better look, bro.
That shit looked real. I'm not gonna lie.
It did. There was corn and shit in it. They made it look real. They made it look real. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
they made it look real. I'm just saying. He better come up to me with the biggest paycheck I've ever seen, and he's like, "Look, man, I know it's disgusting, but this is what we're doing. This is the check. If the check is doable, okay, we can do it. But if the check ain't doable, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear nothing about doo-doo get dumped on me, bro. I'm talking about tons of zeros where I never got to work a day in my life again, bro. I can put this in my bank account. My kids can feed their kids.
That's not happening.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly. That's why I'm never gonna do it because it's never gonna happen. So
yo.
I'm talking about a check where my kids can feed their kids and their kids can feed their kids. That's what I'm talking about. That type of
the
check.
number's so high. The number's so high, you busting that. But all right, but another DX moment besides that one. I think that's the fact though. Almost everybody's favorite one. I have two that come to mind. The press conference one with Shawn Michaels and Triple H. That one. He's like, we will not use the word, like all the slurs in the world. And
I got one.
He was like, we'll do no dick reference in Triple H. And Shawn Michaels was like, oh shit, watch your fucking mouth. He just keeps
it was so good.
Another one. It was a backstage promo. This had me geeking. Besides the
barbecue.
Sorry, I just kicked Stan. There's another one.
Oh man,
I was there.
I love that.
I was there. I was there. I was in attendance for that one too, bro. I was there.
Another one that I had was the backstage interview with them and Maria. He was just like, I think they were talking about Rated RKO. And he's like, we got 2 words for you. And Maria was like, no way. Well, it's not no way. He whispers in their ear. You know what he said. And she's like looking all confused. He's like, you seem confused. Perhaps a visual aid.
Another one I want to throw out there too. This one stuck in my head. I'll tell this one. The chase of Jonathan Coachman, bro. When they chased Coach throughout the entire arena, when he was running Raw, and DX was like, maybe we're gonna run the show, and now they're trying to chase Coach and everything, and he's running to the women's locker room, and the DX runs to the women's locker room, and he's chasing him into this, and then Coach all of a sudden goes to this room, and then Big Dick Johnson comes out, starts dancing on him and shit.
Big Dick Johnson, one of my favorites.
How about Low People's Court?
Oh, I forgot about that, bro.
Hey, that's an OG. That's an OG.
Definitely would not be shown to that.
That's crazy.
That's an OG.
And another favorite.
It was corny, but it was fun. It was pretty funny.
Only because I saw it every day after they did it when they spray painted the headquarters.
Oh, that was iconic. That was like the whole.
If anybody's wondering, it was real. It was real paint.
You're from Connecticut,
because I was able to see it. Yeah, it was real paint. It was there for the next couple of weeks.
Hey,
Holy shit!
I feel bad
really
for the
there.
motherfucker that got to clean that after.
That's crazy, bro.
That's
you
what-
gotta think about it. They spray painted the plane, then the headquarters, and the limousine and shit.
Yep.
I was like, bro, the whole fucking that whole DX run was just great, bro. It was great, bro. They did so much good shit on TV, bro.
I liked it when
So
Edge
funny.
and Orton imitated them too. That was still on
man.
fire too, man. When those
Edge
guys
came out with the nose.
When Edge came out with the nose and he fucking goes to do the Triple H and he falls back, I die every time.
Yeah,
Every time. I can't help it.
that was great.
It was one
That
of
was
those like if you laugh, like one of those like WWE do not laugh like videos.
Yeah,
I was doing so well until that part, and I'm like, fuck, and I'm like, I couldn't. You guys will see it on the TikTok.
What did you just say you want to do to my ass? Remember that one?
Yeah.
Aside from like funny moments, I think. Well, I don't know if it counts as like DX sort of because it's my memory's kind of fuzzy on it. But I believe it was like on the first It was the first SmackDown episode when Shawn Michaels super kicked the Rock during that match. That was like my favorite. Like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, little.
Another one. If you guys remember this one too, back in the Attitude Era when they played poker at ringside, it was like him, China, and Shawn, China, and Triple H when they fucking played DX poker at ringside, and like.
Weren't they putting like fucking dollar bills in China's tits and shit?
Yeah, it's so.
I saw it on WWE Network.
Man.
It's so, bro. It's just so. They did so much shit, bro. It was so funny. Okay, so this next question. This may be a soft spot for you, Mountie. But somebody asked it, so I'm gonna ask it.
Don't do it.
It is. It is what you think it is, Mountie. Did Bret Hart deserve the Montreal Screwjob, bro? So Mountie, I'll let you first. You're Canadian, bro. I'll let you go first, bro. It's all you. This is yours. This is you. We talked about it before on my channel.
I'll try to remain calm this time.
No. Let it out, bro. Let it out. Fuck it.
Oh yeah.
Look, listen, I saw this. I saw this comment in the chat, and I just was like, "Nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not bringing it up." And I wanted to bring it up to you, and I'm like, "Nope. We're just gonna put that one to bed again tonight." And then I saw it again as soon as you said, "Okay, this one's a soft spot." I'm like, "For who? For me? Fuck."
For who?
So listen. A couple things come to mind when we talk about the Montreal Screwjob. I don't think. I can't believe you did Bret Hart dirty like that. I can't believe that, after all the work that he gave you, you couldn't and he was your workhorse for many years, and he was a good champion. He was good for role model for kids. He was that next top baby face in between Shawn Michaels and right after Hogan. So he was that guy, man. He was that guy that I personally I loved Bret Hart. So for me, I was devastated when this happened, and I just couldn't believe. It worked out well in a sense for McMahon. Obviously, he obviously got what he wanted. He became one of the best heels of all time.
Yeah.
And he started that attitude and that Attitude Era where you just didn't really know what was going to come. And then McMahon was behind the whole thing, and and McMahon was more than just a commentator. We got to see a lot more of Vince's side and everything else. So for me, Bret really got the shit end of the stick. Yes, he went to WCW. Yes, he made a lot of money over there. Yes, Vince knew that he was going to go, but why do you have to do him like that? And look, Jim Cornette one time said, "Oh, I can't believe this fucking guy is and I like Jim Cornette to an extent. But he's like, I can't believe this fucking guy didn't want to lose it in Canada. What if Shawn Michaels, what he's gonna say, oh, I don't want to lose it in America? And I'm like, you can't compare the two, because even to this day, there's very few pay-per-views in Canada to begin with, right? So he wasn't asking for okay, hey, I didn't think he was asking for a lot.
You got to think too. He asking to lose in Canada to Shawn Michaels. To Shawn Michaels, not everybody. When the beef that they got, they don't like each other.
Come on, look, it's one of those. I can't even say love-hate. I have mixed feelings about it. To an extent, guys. I understand from a business perspective, putting my own personal, vendetta against it. It catapulted the industry into levels that we've never seen, and and to be fair, levels that we'll probably never see again, maybe too. You know what I'm saying? Like that extreme, that fucking like next level 18 plus shit. Like it catapulted to that, and Bret Hart was the first scapegoat into that. So I understand that dynamic.
What was it like? What was it like watching it live? Because I mean, I'm sure you, or if you didn't watch it live, I'm sure you heard about it.
I was confused. I was perplexed. I was really disappointed. I was sad. I felt like,
because what in '97? What are you? Were you in high school at the time?
I was in grade 7, so I would have been how old is that? Like 12 or
13,
something?
12,
Yeah,
13 years old.
So
I can't imagine how it would be in there when that happened.
Oh my God! Like I wasn't there that night. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't there. Unfortunately, I regret that every day. But it was what it was. You know, like I had something prior. You know, my parents couldn't afford to pay for it, whatever it was at the time. But I watched it. I watched the pay-per-view, and everybody thought like, you know, Bret Hart was gonna win. Everybody was talking around Montreal. He's gonna win. He's gonna win. He's gonna win. And then it's just how he lost and everything. Like I had felt like betrayed. Like I can only imagine how Bret Hart felt betrayed. Like I felt betrayed as a fan, as like, you know, I didn't understand what was going on. I felt like guys, for the first time in my life, wrestling let me down. That's the best way I can like explain it to you. You know what I mean? Like I was like,
did you stop watching for a little bit? Like, did you stop watching for a little bit?
Lou, did you say something?
I was doing the Halo betrayal voice.
Yeah. It's still real to me, damn it. Did I stop watching? To be honest, it really left a sour taste in my mouth. And when Bret Hart did the WCW logo on the screen, I was like, yep, I'm going with you. I swear I went. And then it just so happens, like, you know, like we talked about it in our podcast, like Hogan, Razor Ramon, and Diesel were like my 3 guys around that time, from like 94 to like, you know, whatever, 2000. Those were like my 3 favorite at the moment. So the fact that they formed the NWO, I was like, I'm sold. I don't want to watch this shit. I'm fucking done for a bit. I don't know if I'm ever going to go back. Austin The Rock made me go back, right? And that was good shit, because I was still a mark, and I'm like, yeah, fuck you, McMahon. You know, if Bret Hart can't get it on you, well, this guy Austin will, and I like Steve Austin from WCW. So it all came full circle, and here I am today, and it is what it is. But at the time, it was ridiculously, in my opinion, unprofessional of them to do it that way. I understand why, you know, I just think they could have done it differently. But at the same time, look what came out of it. So what do you want?
Yeah.
I don't know.
How do you feel about? This bothers me, so I'm sure it bothers you. I don't like how people think that it really was a work. Like, I don't understand that. Like, how do you think it's a work?
They came out with a documentary.
Yeah, I'm like, how do you think this is a work? I don't understand it.
This man literally punched Vince, bro. Like,
bro, like, dude, like Vince McMahon knew that the documentary was happening. So how, like, think about it from a business perspective. He's like, well, if we're gonna go through with this, I'm gonna maximize the documentary to my advantage, and it's not going to really benefit Bret. I mean, it will benefit Bret because it looks like he got fucked over, but then that's going to help Vince going forward. So I'm like, of course it's a shoot, in my opinion. And like, not to mention the fact that it's like Bret Hart has been open with all the fans like us. He's never held back, man. He has shared some stories where I'm like, holy fuck. And I'm like, you telling me that this guy, after leaving fucking WWE, the way he left WWE the first time, obviously after the screw job, you're telling me after his brother died, after his fucking career-ending injury in WCW, and all these factors, as bitter as he is sometimes, you're telling me that he would never, he signed something that he has to take it to his grave? Fuck that, man. No way.
I don't know.
You're telling me that he had respect enough for Vince McMahon after Owen Hart died on his dime? Bro, that would have been the perfect time to expose the shit. You feel me? Like he had he didn't care about McMahon at that point. Why the fuck?
Why
would he protect him? Especially after his brother just died. That would have been the perfect time to spill the beans and be like, "Yeah,
his brother died, and they kept the show going. They ain't stopped the show.
They kept it going.
Even worse. So to me,
and the thing that gets me too, you can hear. When you hear Brett talk about it in interviews, he gets emotional about it. He really pisses him off to this day. And we're talking about this is '97. This was years ago. Bro, it's still really affecting him to this day.
Here's the thing, right? Like for me, the only thing you can maybe argue is like the fact that the camera pans to WCW. To Bret Hart when he does WCW. It pans, it zooms in. I understand, but McMahon is also at ringside. He's not there like, okay, yeah, cut to this camera, cut to this camera. He's at ringside. He's being spit on. So, like, what do you like? You know, they're just kind of like, fuck. All the guys, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do. There was like 4 people that knew what was going to happen. So
and you know,
okay, this must be part of the show. Just keep going, keep filming. Okay, this is really edgy. You know,
Another thing too is that you have to remember they told Undertaker to go watch the match in Vince McMahon's locker room. Because Taker was like the man back then, so they told Taker to go watch the match. And Taker didn't even know. So Taker was there. Taker said if Taker was there, some shit would have went down. He would have been pissed. He was already pissed. So they said, Taker, you got to watch it in Vince's locker room. He was like, okay. He didn't think anything of it. And I think they locked him in the locker room for a little bit till they let him out like that. Because he was so enraged. He was so pissed that they did some shit like that. So I'm with you, man. I feel like I understand why they did it. And I think one of the big reasons that Vince McMahon, even though Vince McMahon really had no reason not to trust Brett, even if Brett wanted to drop it the next night, because Brett was so loyal to Vince, he never did anything not to disclose him. He signed with WWE after WCW offered him more money to go there, and he said, "You know what? I'm gonna stay here. I don't want to go to WCW." And I feel like the Medusa thing when she dropped the belt in the trash can, I think that was another reason that Vince, because he was like, I'm sure Vince was like, I'm never gonna let that happen to my company again. So there's no way I can take the chances. But I'm with you. I feel like he had no reason not to trust Brett to do the right thing.
Honestly, look, the last thing I'll say on this topic is, yes, I know that all of it happened for that reason, and a lot of good things happened out of it, and that's great. But what I will say is, I also feel like that time period and that Attitude Era just beginning, and the characters and the talent that they had, I think they could have found another way to elevate the Attitude Era is what I'm saying. I don't think Bret Hart had to be the way in order for it to start. I think they could have found so many different ways in order to do it. I mean, guys, like everything was edgy back then. Even just off of WWE, Jerry Springer, South Park, like these fucking shows were like huge. Like, you telling me a creative mind like Vince couldn't have found another way to like maximize his character and this and that? Of course. We
did a podcast about it once, and we came up with a good idea. We said, what if you had Brett to beat Taker at SummerSlam, just the same way they did, and then you could have Taker win it back at Bad Blood, and you could push Kane's debut back to Survivor Series. So you could push the Hell in a Cell match back to Survivor Series, Kane's debut to Survivor Series, and you got Taker versus Shawn Survivor Series, and Brett could face somebody else. I think Brett said that he wanted to drop the Shamrock on the next night on Raw. Shamrock was hot at the time. He could have faced Shamrock in Canada. For sure, we put Shamrock over. It's just the fact that the reason I've never been mad at Brett defending that is because he was okay with losing to Shawn is when Shawn said that he would never put him over again. And that really pissed Brett off. And Brett was like, well, fuck you. I'm not going to put you over if you're not going to respect me and put me over. So why would I put you over? And then especially in my hometown.
Person wouldn't think that way. You know?
And I don't understand. What really bothers me too is that Brett signs his 20-year deal, and Vince McMahon forces him out of the deal, and he forces Brett. He's basically encouraging Brett to go to WCW. And out of everybody, why couldn't it have been somebody else to beat him? Why did it have to be Shawn Michaels? I mean, if you want the belt on Shawn, there are different ways you could have done it. Why did it have to be Shawn? Why did it have to be in Canada? Why did it have to be this night? That's what really I don't understand. I'm like, you knew the beef that they had. You're not stupid. You knew that Brett and Shawn didn't like each other back then. They had a fucking fight. They had a fight in the locker room, and I'm sure at the time. What I think is after that fight, Vince was torn. He had to choose between Brett and Shawn, and he chose Shawn, obviously. So he forced Brett. He forced Brett out of the company. He signed that 20-year deal, and now he's saying he can't acknowledge the deal. So now he's forcing him out of the company. And Brett did an interview about this. He said that Brett was like hell bent. He did not want to leave. He wanted to stay in WWE, and he said, Vince, is there anything I can do to stay? And Vince told him on the phone. Brett said that Vince told him on the phone. He said if he stayed, basically all he would do is just do jobs to Shawn Michaels. He's losing to Shawn every week. So it's like, so Brett's like, fuck, you really want me to go? Okay, fuck it, I'm leaving the company. Then I guess that's what it is. So that's my thing. Like, why did it have to be Shawn? Like, it could have been Ken Shamrock. It could have been Undertaker. I'm sure you telling me he wouldn't have lost to Undertaker and could have respectfully.
Of course he would have.
Like, come on.
Of course he would.
Could have been Taker, bro. You could have put it on Taker, bro. It could have been anybody but Shawn Michaels, bro. It's just like, bro, I don't. That's what really bothered me about it. It's like at everybody you had to pick Shawn Michaels, though. Like that's just like, bro. If me and Lou had a legit beef and we're wrestlers, and me and him didn't fucking like each other, and he was the champ, and the owner said, you know what, you're leaving the company. You're gonna lose the belt to Malik, and Lou's like, I don't fucking like it. You know, me and him don't get along. Why would I do that, bro? Like, and I came up to Lou and said, you know what, Lou, I respect you, but I would never put you over. That's gonna make him even more mad. Now he's even more pissed off. This motherfucker just said he would never put me over in the ring, bro.
Fuck you,
so
Malik.
now what? I put him.
You motherfucker.
So now why would I put him over, bro? Like that makes no sense, bro. Like that's you feel offended, you feel disrespected, bro. That's why I always never been mad. That's why I never understood why people were always like, well, Brett was unprofessional. And like, bro, what do you mean he was unprofessional, bro? Like
Definitely
maybe
Put yourself in his shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Definitely
people say that, I look at
bro.
him like, shut the fuck up. You all don't know what the hell y'all talking about, y'all. Y'all don't know how y'all never had beef with somebody. Those are people that never really truly had beef with somebody. You know what I mean?
So let's answer a couple more questions and whatever. This one right here. Do you think Shawn Michaels should have ended the streak?
Yes and no.
100%. If not him, then Triple H. But one of those. One of them.
I would say neither Triple H or Shawn Michaels. If the streak ever ended, it should have been somebody who would have benefited from the streak and elevated them, like a Bray Wyatt or Roman Reigns. It should have been somebody younger who would have helped elevate them. Shawn Michaels didn't need the streak. Triple H didn't need the streak. Brock didn't need the streak. Even though Brock was believable, I understand why they made the decision because Brock was believable enough, and he's not. If he gets the backlash from it, he's not going to give a fuck. You know what I mean? So I understand why they did it, but I agree with Taker, man. Taker was like, somebody like Roman or Bray would have benefited. Those guys would have been self-made, bro. If Bray Wyatt had if ended the streak, Bray would have been fucking legacy affirmed. Roman, same way. You know what I mean? The storyline wise, with the streak versus career, I get why Shawn Michaels could have ended it, but it didn't need to be Shawn. Triple H, people definitely wouldn't let Triple H in the streak because I don't see.
And here's the thing about that is just like when we had the end of an era match at 28 at WrestleMania 28, I fully expected super kick to Undertaker, pedigree, streak is over.
I thought it was done.
But Undertaker just kicked out. You know what I'm saying? And you have to fail to realize that, in my personal opinion, the Undertaker has had amazing rivalries, and he's had probably some of his best rivalries were with Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Okay, and when we go on with greatest WrestleMania matches, I mean, Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker at back-to-back WrestleMania 25 and 26. Those were two of my favorites of all time. And when we're talking about like Triple H versus the Undertaker and the history that they've always had, it's just, in my personal opinion, Shawn Michaels would have been the viable contender. Or if it wasn't Shawn Michaels, then it would have been Triple H.
Well, the interesting thing about that is, even though Michaels didn't beat him twice, the fact that he tried to help Hunter by the super kick and the pedigree and it didn't work, it was like you saw the emotion in his face. He's like, I can't believe I still can't beat this guy at all. Yeah. Like we can't put this guy, two guys can't put him down. This is crazy. I felt like it should do it up more,
Like, never trust Shawn Michaels when he's a referee, period.
I think it should have been. I think it should have been somebody who would have benefited more. Or Kyron has said it many times. When Kyron brought up a good one, he said that he would have had John Cena do it, and John Cena turned heel during it. So John Cena turned heel during the match, and then beat the streak. Because that would have been like Hogan Bash at the Beach type shit. He was like, holy shit! Because now you have a real John Cena heel, because now the people that hate him are still going to hate him because he beat the streak. And the people that loved him are going to turn on him too because he beat the streak. So
and you have him low blow the Undertaker to do it.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Real heel.
When you said turn heel in the middle of the match.
Yeah. And he just looks and he just walks out. Doesn't say a fucking word for weeks. You know what I mean? That's it. Like, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. So that would have been sick. And I agree with the Bray Wyatt, because Roman was always going to be a made guy. You knew that he was going up and to the right, and we were all okay with that. So I don't think he needed it. But Bray Wyatt, I feel like that could have, really been something for him there at that point.
That's why I wish. It's a shame the Fiend character wasn't around back then, because the Fiend character would have been.
Even the first iteration of Bray Wyatt was good too. It's just they fucked it up.
They
Yeah,
did.
it was.
No, it's exactly.
It was, but the Fiend was more. The Fiend's just more dominant. I mean, so I just felt
like that. Going back to the Cena thing, Cena should have Bray should have went over Cena that WrestleMania. That's a perfect example. Perfect example of Cena not doing, not eating the pin there. I'm just saying.
Yeah. He should have lost that year. Another one. What's your favorite WrestleMania? Favorite WrestleMania of all time?
Oof.
Damn.
Mine to me, WrestleMania. My favorite WrestleMania of all time is WrestleMania 21. My favorite WrestleMania for you.
I'm gonna have to go with
number one. I'll give you. The reason WrestleMania 21 is my favorite WrestleMania of all time is the first WrestleMania I ever watched on pay-per-view, and I was heavily invested into it, bro. Triple H versus Batista, one of the most underrated WrestleMania matches, I think. The story was such incredible, bro. So invested,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
I'll never forget when Batista fucking powerbombed Triple H to that table, bro. A little kid, I lost my mind, bro. John Cena coming up at the time versus JBL was great, and you had two. My first ever Money in the Bank was great. You had Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio, which made sense. Led to a great feud between the two, and then you had two show-stealer matches between Undertaker and Randy Orton and Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle. And bro, it was at WrestleMania to me it was perfect. I thought it was a great WrestleMania. Everything made sense for that. You had Undertaker versus Randy Orton. Randy Orton was the legend killer at the time. Makes sense for him to go out through the street. He's the legend. Shawn Michaels and Kurt Angle, two guys who never wrestled before. And they were probably the two best wrestlers in the company at the time too. So it made sense for these guys go after each other. Batista and Cena got elevated to be the two next guys for the company for that era at the time. And then you had, first ever Money in the Bank, and like I said, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, tag team champs at the time. Made sense for those two individuals.
Orton,
yeah,
bro,
it was great.
Bro.
I love it.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to totally agree with you, man. Like that WrestleMania was all time, bro. Front to back, the card, the promotion, the Hollywood, everything. I loved it, man. 2021 and 22 for me, I really loved, but 21 was special.
You remember the fucking little Hollywood vignettes that you do and shit? The WrestleMania vignettes and shit?
Yeah.
Oh, God, they were so great, bro. What about you, Josiah? Favorite WrestleMania?
For me, favorite WrestleMania of all time, I gotta go WrestleMania 24. WrestleMania 24, I loved. First of all, in my opinion, the stage to WrestleMania 24, that's the best WrestleMania stage of all time. The whole set was beautiful. And also one of my favorite matches at WrestleMania of all time, Triple H, Randy Orton, John Cena, triple threat match for the WWE Championship. That was one of my favorite WrestleMania Championship matches ever. Bro, and then correct me if I'm wrong, but
don't bring that up. Don't bring that up.
The promo before the match was sick, right?
Don't bring that up, bro.
100%.
I was so pissed when Randy Orton won that match, bro. I couldn't believe it.
I
called that shit.
I couldn't believe it,
correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was also the WrestleMania where it was Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels.
Oh yeah, great match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And those two matches alone, that submitted my favorite.
That WrestleMania was stacked too, bro. The Money in the Bank, that was probably the best Money in the Bank ladder match ever.
It was one CM Punk won, right? You had Batista defeated Umaga.
Was that the one? Was that the Money in the Bank match where John Morrison did that spot where he had the ladder and he backflipped?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You had Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels,
and let's not forget Shelton Benjamin. Shout out to him on the Money in the Bank matches.
Dude,
bro.
21 when he ran up that jump clothesline.
Bro, Shelton Benjamin. I feel like he's highly underrated when it comes to those matches,
bro. We talked about wasted talent, man. Like that.
Yes.
I wanted to say him, but I was like, well, he's kind of doing some good stuff now, so I don't know, But yeah, no.
And then look at that WrestleMania 2. You had my personal favorite match in that WrestleMania was Edge versus Undertaker, the main event. I thought that was the best match at the WrestleMania. And then even Floyd Mayweather versus Big Show, bro. That was highly entertaining, bro. That was some entertaining shit, bro. So it's like they had some. That WrestleMania was dope, man. What about you, Axel?
WrestleMania 17.
Yeah, good pick.
17.
TLC.
Solid pick.
Yep.
And that's the WrestleMania. That's my first WrestleMania I ever saw. So
Oh, that's a good way to start, dude.
Seeing a kid seeing Jeff go down like that. And then you had the Fatal 4-Way, The Rock, Triple H, Stone Cold, Undertaker.
Oh man.
Like,
what about
and
you?
a little underrated match. Regal versus Jericho too.
I got a good number of them. 18, 19, 24 is one of them. 35 for if you know me, for the people that don't know, I love 35 because of Kofi.
Oh yeah,
because that's the culture. So yeah,
100.
Trying to remember, there was another one before. Oh, and WrestleMania 30.
I like 30 as well. 30 was great.
30 was good
For Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
My favorite WrestleMania 21. Honestly, any WrestleMania from 17 to 20.
Sorry.
Any WrestleMania from 17 to 24 was great WrestleMania, if you ask me. Not a bad WrestleMania there.
I loved WrestleMania 10 as well. WrestleMania 10 was fucking sick. For the time, guys, that ladder match, I'm telling you, that Owen Hart versus Brett to open it up. Obviously the main event, you had Luger in there as well. Like he was a big player at that point. Alundra Blaze was the best female at the point. You had Bam Bam Bigelow against Doink the Clown. For some reason, I was invested in that too. There was so much there. Earthquake versus Adam Bomb. Fuck yeah. Right on. Let's do this.
What's your favorite WrestleMania match of all time? Favorite one? WrestleMania match. You gotta have a favorite WrestleMania match. You gotta favorite WrestleMania.
Ooh, damn.
That is so hard.
What a question.
It would have to be a cross between, for me, if we're talking modern WrestleManias.
No, favorite one of all time. Favorite WrestleMania match of all time.
Of all time?
All time, bro.
Bro, mine's easy. Mine's Shawn Michaels Undertaker WrestleMania 25. It's not even close.
That's a good pick.
That may be the greatest match I've ever seen in my life.
I probably have to go with Kofi and Daniel Bryan, man. Like that was one of the matches where like I was super happy for Kofi, and I was like just ecstatic, just blown away, and like the whole crowd just like did. It was amazing in my opinion.
Did that ending scene almost make you cry?
You know, you
saw Xavier,
look, it gets
Xavier game in the ring, walking out,
and like they had Kofi towering over it. Yeah. It was one of the most emotional WrestleMania matches.
They should have turned on him right then and there.
Would have been perfect.
That would have been some old school wrestling shit right there, bro. That would have been like unexpected, like heel turn, bro. That shit was
if that was to happen, Big E would have been a perfect one.
Shit.
Yeah, bro. If that was to happen, Big E would have been the biggest heel in the company right there, bro. Instantly, biggest heel in the company.
100%.
It would have been huge, bro. To me, Shawn versus Taker, though, bro, that's just the greatest match I've ever seen, bro. Like everything about that match was.
I'm gonna have to second that.
That was just so good, bro.
That's
yours too.
Rock versus Austin. WrestleMania 17. I mean, there's a lot. There, Hogan versus Warrior. Rock versus Hogan. Like that. Rock versus Hogan was.
As far as old school WrestleManias go, Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior, that's one of my favorites that I've seen so far.
Dude, I totally agree. Like that was monumental. Bigger than life.
You gotta pick one, bro. Gotta have one match. Gotta pick one.
But of all time, I would 100% go with I'll go with Kofi and Daniel.
Actually, you gotta pick one, bro. You gotta have one.
I could easily go with the Shawn Michaels and Taker, but I'm gonna go a little different. Only because I was young at the time and the story had me so invested. Shawn versus Ric Flair.
Oh, that's a good one.
Only because I'm not gonna lie. The next Raw, it was so emotional, bro.
But that shit was crazy.
It was so.
That's why he's the greatest ever, bro. That's why he's the greatest ever. He's the greatest ever, man.
Yeah.
This man nobody ever had a retirement ceremony like that, bro. Where everybody was there, bro. Everybody was
Undertaker
there.
come out.
Even the man who retired him. Retired him.
Undertaker came out. Vince came out, bro. Everybody and their mama was there, bro. Come on now. Like it was. Everybody was there to pay their respect, bro. Like it was great, bro. Mountie, you gotta have an answer, bro. I'm not moving on until you get an answer.
It's really I'm gonna say Hogan against Warrior. I wanted to go with Andre versus Hogan because that for me was mind blowing. You know, like it was big. I know some people think it's an overrated match, but guys, like that at the time, wrestling never felt so real to me as that match was. You know, so. But for me, like just because of the star power and everything, I'd have to go. I guess Hogan versus Warrior. I'm not saying it's the best match. I'm saying it's my favorite match. Like that. You know, I'd say Hulk Hogan versus Ultimate Warrior WrestleMania 6. That for me, that was
my favorite.
That was the shit.
100.
I would say Shawn versus it's funny though because Shawn versus Taker is my favorite WrestleMania match at 25, but my favorite WrestleMania storyline is the Streak versus Career the year afterwards.
Yeah, the year after.
That storyline, bro, I've never felt any way I ever felt any storyline. I was so invested, bro. I was like, my fucking mind was every week, bro. I had to see what was gonna happen, bro. The way they built up was so great. And then that was the first time for me, honestly, at the time, I didn't know who was winning that match. I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah,
I was torn, bro.
They're literally trying to break us. WWE was trying to break us emotionally.
The rematch threw me off. I was like, "Whoa, hang on a second! Is a rematch? Yeah. What the fuck?" You know?
Yeah, it threw me off. And the same thing with the end of an era, bro. That storyline too, bro. That hooked me, bro.
Because I was like, well, I don't think Shawn Michaels is done yet. So I was like, I don't think that's what threw me off. I was like, I don't think Shawn Michaels is done. He can still go. You clearly, for God's sake. I mean, that was one of the best matches he's ever made. Like. Talk about going out on your back. Like he should have never came back. He should have never ever came back.
He had the best retirement ever, bro. The best one ever to me.
Yep.
It was perfect. Storyline wise, match wise, everything was great. Everything was perfect. And came back.
Until that awesome tag match.
I would have to say
that never happened, right?
I would have to say
Austin never came back. He's the only one that never came back yet.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like that.
I would have to say before I move on to I'm gonna do 3 more questions, guys, and we're gonna get off here. Before I move, I would have to say Rock versus Cena too, though, bro. That shit. That was life changing for me.
Rock versus Cena 2 or
not
1?
Not the second one.
No, the first one, of course. The first one, of course.
The second one not needed. That
was life changing, bro. For me, when the Rock came back, and then when the Rock came back, the first thing I thought of was that match. I was like, bro, the
beef was a full year. Full year. The beef was a full year.
Full year,
and
bro.
I was invested every single time it was brought up. You know what I'm saying?
The promos were incredible. I was starting to get older at the time, and I'll never forget when one of my things that actually peaked when I was actually getting older. When John Cena called out The Rock for having his promo on his wrist, and he a lot of people were like, "Oh shit!" But I remember watching, I was like, "Holy shit! Did he just fucking let a shoot?"
I didn't think that.
Let a fucking shoot,
exposed, man.
What the fuck? Like it was crazy, bro. And it was like the feud was incredible.
Nah, that was low key real beef. I don't care, man.
It was.
It was beef. Yeah, it had some little beef. I
wouldn't put it past him.
I don't know if you know this, so a little backstory before we move on, but I just found this out recently. So the match originally wasn't scheduled to be once in a lifetime. Like it was only supposed to happen one time, and John Cena was not happy about losing to The Rock at that time, bro, because at that time. John Cena was like, bro, I've been here, bro. Like, I've been the one here the whole entire time. And if this is going to be once in a lifetime, he needs to pass the torch to me because Hogan passed it to him. Andre passed it to Hogan. You know, like the torch continues to get passed. You know what I mean? So, like, why can't he pass it to me, bro? So, that was a little backstory. But I think part of the reason why he lost is because they were going to do it again. And because Vince wanted to give him that one, win back, so he can't pass the torch to him because Hogan passed it to Rock, Andre passed it to. Andre gave it to Hogan, Hogan gave it to Hogan gave it to Rock, but they passed the torch. And if it was going to be once in a lifetime, I think that's how Cena was looking at it. From what I heard, I think Mike Chioda was the referee in that match. He said it.
Here's my thing about it. It's like if you wanted to have The Rock versus John Cena again, okay, that's fine, but it was. The match, like it was the stipulation itself. It was for the WWE Championship, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like CM Punk had his title reign demolished for this. Like Rock didn't even have the title for so long. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if you wanted, because I said this before on my TikTok, it's like if you wanted to, you know, have if you wanted CM Punk to drop the title to John Cena, then, or if you wanted John Cena to be the champion, then have him have like a dope match with CM Punk at WrestleMania and have that be, you know, his title reign over. But at the time, like John Cena, he was full time, so it wasn't like a part timer was going to take a championship. It was John Cena, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know, The Rock and John Cena, they could have had a match number 2. I wasn't opposed to it, but what the stipulation was, I wasn't.
They should have never had a rematch because it was supposed to be once in a lifetime. Don't call it once in a lifetime. It's not supposed to be one time in a lifetime, bro. Like if they didn't have that headline right there, then it would have been different. But that's what they built it up as: once in a lifetime, one match only. So that's why it was so big, because it was like, holy shit, like fucking Rock versus Cena, 2 different generations. So they lied to us like they always did. You know, they lied to us.
They lied to us. When you said it was gonna be one damn match, you lied. Yes, you did.
All right, three more questions. We're gonna move on. This is a really good question, actually. Kurt Angle versus Bret Hart. Who would win in their prime?
I'm not gonna choose an old school person this time. I'm gonna choose Kurt Angle.
That would have been an amazing match. But this match was a submission match too. Oh, goodness gracious, submission match between these two.
Fuck. If it was a submission match, I'll take Kurt Angle easily. I'll take Kurt Angle easily because his submission move, I'm sorry, but like that's like one of the most believable submission moves of all time. Like the sharpshooter, it's cool and all, but like I don't know, it's like when Kurt Angle won with the ankle lock, it was just amazing. So that's just my
sharpshooter is a bitch, man.
The sharpshooter
is a bitch, bro.
That hurts, man. Have you ever been one?
He beat a lot of people.
I mean, I haven't, but I mean.
He beat a lot of people. He beat a lot of top people with that sharpshooter, bro. He beat a lot of top people with that sharpshooter.
Yeah, and
on top of that, it wasn't.
Yeah, and like I said,
it wasn't easy to get out of. You know,
and like I said, it would have been a good match. You know, and if it was a submission match, I put my money on Kurt Angle. That's just my take on it. Maybe because I'm younger and like I grew up with Kurt Angle like more than Bret Hart, but that's just my take on it.
No, I mean, Kurt Angle's in my top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time, bro. But for this one, I'm about to go Bret Hart, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta go Bret Hart.
Me too. I gotta go Bret Hart.
Okay.
So we got 2 Angle, 2 Bret.
Damn.
Team Angle or Team Bret Hart?
Not the majority.
American or are you Canadian?
Olympic gold medalist, bro. Olympic gold medalist. Come on.
Hey, it's friendly here in Canada.
Best there was. Hey, best there was. Best there is. Best there ever will be, bro. Come on now.
Gold medal with a broken
this
freaking
man
neck. That's what I'm gonna say.
Won a gold medal.
Right. With a broken neck.
Broken neck. You
like,
can't.
Come on.
Best there was. Best there is. Best there will be, bro.
Bret Hart.
That's tough. It could go either way.
It's tough.
Hey,
have to go Angle.
He made sexy Kurt.
He'll make your ankle hurt. He'll make your ankle hurt, bro.
He make her ankle hurt, bro.
Marty Jannetty still can't walk.
Kurt Angle back then,
he can't walk to this day.
Kurt Angle back then, man, he was so great. He was so great. The stuff he did with Brock Lesnar, bro, that was just some of the best work he've ever. Like, as far as Brock Lesnar goes, like his character back then with Kurt Angle, that was amazing. Like, I love Brock Lesnar so much back then.
Oh, that push-up competition was so damn funny.
Oh, that shit was.
He made that dude do 500 push-ups.
Oh man,
his ass.
Bro, and then when Kurt Angle, it was Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar, and Kurt Angle had a jug of milk and he was drinking it, and then Brock Lesnar pat him on the back and spit the milk all over this one woman, like off camera.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
That was great, bro. That was some funny shit. Kurt Angle's highly more entertaining than Bret, for sure.
Well, yeah, that's not what we're talking about, though.
But match-wise, I gotta go with Bret.
Marty sounded offended.
I'm sorry.
Have a good night, guys.
Let's see some of these questions. We'll do 2 more questions.
2 more.
I think we kind of did that one. Oh, that's a tough one. Let me see something. What else we got in here? You guys coming in with the questions, man. Appreciate it. You guys coming in with the big questions. Well, that one already had that match already happened. I see somebody in the comment said that match already happened. Who would win? Brock Lesnar or Hulk Hogan? Well, that match already happened, and Hulk Hogan got destroyed. So
yes, he did.
Squoze that nigga. He was like, yeah, Heyman in the background, squeeze. I was like, oh shit, this nigga. Oh, he dead. Yeah. He's killing him.
That one hurt me.
Oh, me as a child, like looking at my brother, yo, he's killing him right now. He's dead.
Yeah, me too. I was like,
I feel like I gotta report this. Like,
he's bleeding out the mouth. Nah, bro.
You needed Roddy Piper there to be like, Hulk, you're bleeding. You're bleeding out of the mouth. Like you did with Andre with the cross there. You know, Hulk, you're bleeding.
Okay, what about this one? Who is the most undervalued talent on the roster right now? I would say, for me right now, I'm looking at the roster.
Undervalued.
I'm doing the slide right now. I'm gonna slide out my chair because I have a list.
Undervalued.
So undervalued. So when you say this, are we talking about
somebody being looked over? Somebody being looked over. They think they're being
looked over? Okay, that's a better question then.
For me, one of them, honestly, for me, in my opinion, I think she has talent. I'm gonna say Liv Morgan. I always like Liv Morgan. I think Liv Morgan has talent.
And Ruby Riott. They should be
Definitely
Ruby Riott too.
Tag team champions at least.
Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan. I'm gonna give one. I'm just gonna give one answer. I'm gonna say Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan would be my answer. I think she's undervalued. She has a lot of talent, in my opinion.
Dang.
I got a few. I mean, before like a couple of weeks ago, I would have said The Miz. That would have been a big one for me. But right now, I would say for women, for me, Shayna Baszler. We spoke about that before. And for men, Aleister Black.
Oh hell, that was mine.
For me, right now, I gotta go with John Morrison. Like, dude's awesome. Like you know what I'm saying? And like, I wouldn't have been opposed to him winning the U.S. title. You know,
that match he had with Riddle was good.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I gotta go with John Morrison.
He might be hurt. I think he might.
You think so?
Yeah, because he was limping that whole match after he did the plancha.
Yeah, that once. Yeah, you're right. Damn.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not too serious, man. Because if he's hurt, that means the main event are gonna change. We may not get Lashley.
One hundo.
I'm scared. That's like, no.
You know what, man? Shayna still has a title, so I mean, like, we'll see what happens there. Fuck. That's a tough question, though. I mean, obviously, Aleister Black's one, and Malik had a good one with Braun Strowman, but like, what about John Morrison was a good one too. I'm trying to think of other guys too. Mustafa Ali, maybe.
That was my damn it. That was my
Ali's good one. Ali's a really good one.
Yeah, I'm taking all my answers. I should have went first.
Hey, real recognizes real, Lou.
Mustafa Ali.
Ali's a good one, man. Ali.
The fact that they put him as a leader of this damn faction, and they continue to be looking like freaking idiots after he's doing the best mic work in his career, annoys me so much.
I'm really upset if they don't give Mustafa Ali and Kofi Kingston a match at WrestleMania.
The story there.
The Elimination Chamber story. Use it. You know.
Okay. This is a good question. For the ladies, go ahead and let you answer real quick for the ladies.
Yeah, for the ladies though, Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott is a good one, but I want to say she's undervalued, but she keeps getting overlooked as a damn champion, and it annoys me. Asuka.
I knew who you were going to pick. I knew where you were going with that.
She'll have the belt, and she'll always be overlooked by somebody else. Like, why does they keep doing that?
Yeah.
This is a good one right here. Where do you want to see WWE the next 5 years? It's a good question. I like that.
Sorry. I always assume that I have them. I fucking just talk. My bad.
I'll let you go first, Lou. I'll let you go first. Go ahead.
What do I see in the next 5 years? That's a tough one. But if everything goes according to plan, they take over the hot damn world. We get NXT Japan, you get NXT India, which is on the come up right now. But as far as that, I think they might. I think 5 years they might go back. Not go back. And like they might intensify their shit as far as like their main roster product. Because I think 5 years, I don't think maybe Vince McMahon won't be in the chair no more. Maybe we'll get Triple H, Stephanie. Maybe he said this is 5 years. That's a lot. That's a half a decade. That's a lot of years. We don't know. It could happen. God forbid, I'm not saying he died or nothing. I'm saying he stepped down.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Yeah, that's true. It's the only way.
I mean,
let me knock on wood. I don't want to wish death on nobody.
That would be a blockbuster if he decided to step down. I don't see it happening.
You know what's crazy though? Like a lot of people love to hate on Vince McMahon and everything because nowadays. But I'm telling you right now, I don't care whatever happened. The saddest day in pro wrestling history is going to be when he dies. It's going to be the saddest day.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm not going to care about who won the belt. Kofi Mania was great. We cried at Kofi Mania. We cried at Daniel Bryan. But we cried at Eddie Guerrero. I'm telling you, Vince McMahon does. Saddest day in pro wrestling, bro. Saddest day ever.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and what's crazy about Vince McMahon is that, like, everybody will, like, say, like, oh, he's out of touch. Like, oh, he's, like, terrible or whatever the case may be. But it's crazy how, like, whenever he comes out on, like, SmackDown or Raw, he gets a huge pop. Like, like I said, standing ovation. He gets a huge pop every single time.
True.
You hear that theme song.
They do the bow and shit. They're like, I'm like, damn.
I want to see cross-promotion pay-per-views within 5 years.
Yes.
I want to see WWE participate in that. Whether it's WWE and NXT have to pair up together to go, like that would be sick. WWE and NXT pairs up somehow to go against like a cross promotion. Whoa,
like New Japan,
like, dude, man. Oh yeah,
that would be
never happened.
So I really don't understand why. First off, I love that idea, Mountie, but I don't ever see Vince McMahon do anything like that. And it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't. I mean, Triple H, yes, but there's so much money there. So much money that you could. They literally would take money out of our pockets. Come on, you can't tell me. No, everybody here would buy a pay-per-view if fucking they did a cross promotion. Fucking $60. I'm paying for it. I had to see it. I'm taking money in my pocket. Take it. Take my money. You can
even if it's on a different, it doesn't matter where it is. I'm watching it.
So there's so much money there, bro. You think of all the dream matches you can get. Randy Orton and Kenny Omega. Gosh, fucking think about that match right there.
Where do I see
the New Day and the Elite?
That's so many dream matches that you can get that we haven't even seen, bro. And it's just like there's so much money there being invested, and it just makes sense to do it, bro. And I feel like if Triple H could do it with NXT, I know he'd do it. I just feel like he'd jump on it instantly.
I'd also like to see more development and a better product in tag team wrestling for WWE. If I get those two things, I'll be very happy for a long time.
Ax, what do you want to see? What do you want to see next 5 years?
I want to see them finally join with different promotions, bro. Like all the way from when TNA was the old TNA. All the little subs, Kurt Angle saying stuff, AJ Styles saying stuff, and then Cena would say stuff, and it was just ever since those old school stuff, man. That's what I really want to see.
Oh yeah,
like you said, there's too much money there, bro. Too much.
What about you, Josiah?
Next 5 years, I always loved NXT. Next 5 years, I truly see NXT taking over. I see in NXT being like one of these top brands pushing these top stars. You know what I'm saying? I solely believe that NXT should be its own brand. There should be no NXT call-ups. But you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I just see NXT being elevated to a whole new level as far as being a brand in the WWE goes.
Yeah, I think in the draft.
I think next 5 years, NXT they could wrestle just like Monday Night Raw crowds, SmackDown crowds. Get that feeling. What I want to see is I want to see more longevity booking storylines. I truly am a fan of longer term booking storylines, and It probably won't happen because we're in the era now where fans are so impatient. You know, fans are always every week. When's the Fiend coming back? When's the Fiend coming back? Where the fuck's the Fiend at, bro? Just wait. Be patient, bro. Like he's coming. Just wait, bro. What Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton right now is actually really good, bro. So like, get invested into it, bro. They're doing really good stuff, bro. Like, just be invested into it, bro. You look at one of my favorite storylines, of all time is the Mega Powers. Look at that fucking year storyline with the Mega Powers, bro. She was great. Everything they did was fantastic, bro. I miss longevity booking. I want to see more
Evolution.
Yeah, fucking the 3-year faction. Yeah. 3-year faction. Yeah, that fucking storyline was great. It was such good storytelling, bro. I miss the longevity of storyline booking. I wish we could see more of that. I'm a big fan of it. I don't care if anybody else doesn't. They're patient. I would watch the shit. I'd tune in to see it. That's why kind of my favorite feud right now is with the Fiend stuff, because he's been off TV for since December, and I like it. I like that he's not there. I like that they continue to build this up, and they're doing good stuff with it. So they keep teasing it. They keep every week. You think it's next week, or maybe it's the week after. Maybe it's gonna be at Fastlane. It keeps you thinking. It keeps you on your toes. Okay, and it keeps you invested. So and I also want to see the next 5 years. I want to see custom championship designs and custom stage designs for pay-per-views. I want them to bring those back. I'm tired of the championship looking this. Why does the women's championship look the exact same as the WWE championship? Should not look the same. Should be completely different title designs. Stage designs. I miss when you fucking had like tanks and fucking cars, part of the pay-per-view designs, and you know,
make 24, man. I'm telling you,
make it look real.
The Giants
SmackDown Fist. I want to see custom stage designs and custom championship designs, man. You can be creative with the title designs. You look at some of these, you know, some of our favorite championship designs right here, the World Heavyweight Championship, bro. One of the most beautiful championship designs you've ever seen right here, bro. You look at this right here, the fucking Winged Eagle, bro, from the Attitude Era, bro. One of the best championship designs of all time. Fucking amazing championship. You look at the fucking Undisputed Era Championship when they brought this bitch in. This bitch was beautiful, bro. Bring in the fucking custom title designs, bro. Be creative with the championship design, bro. I don't like how the WWE Championship looks like the Universal Championship. The Universal Championship looks like the Women's Championship. Why? Why do they look the same? Why do the tag titles look the same? Make everything different, bro. Like, make it custom. Be creative, man.
Destroy that tag title design. Destroy that shit.
Be creative. I also think the next 5 years, what I'd like to see is one champion, bro. No, they have too many championships. One world champion, one women's champion, one tag champion. I don't like all these custom championships unless you're gonna do a brand split and actually do it correctly. Because I like when you have one champion that can go to each brand, and because there are different storylines you can do, different things you can elevate for other people if they do it right. I don't have an issue with the two championship, but it has to be done right with the brand split. And from what I've seen now, it's not done right.
Yeah, I agree with the, if they're gonna do the, have the brand split, what they do, they have to do it right. It has to be right. The only thing is just like if you have one champion, it's just too many. There's too many peoples. There's too many people in the company. And when we had that, a lot of those guys got lost in the shuffle. You know what I mean? Yeah. We got guys who should have been elevated, end up not being elevated or being stuck in mid card hell longer than they need to be.
Okay, this question right here. I'll do this one and do one more after this. So this kind of might be an easy one right here. At least for me, it is the greatest in-ring performer in WWE history. For me, no brainer for me. It's Shawn Michaels, and that's not even
Drumstick, man.
Shawn Michaels. You put this guy in a match with anybody.
Shawn Michaels versus a broomstick.
Broomstick 5-star match. Shawn Michaels could have matches with big guys, with giants, with smaller guys.
This man had a tag team match with God. Like, come on, bro. He was able to make that work.
Shawn Michaels truly. You gotta think about it too, bro. He made a match with Vince McMahon at WrestleMania. 60-year-old Vince McMahon, bro. An entertaining WrestleMania classic, memorable match, bro. Like, come on, bro. Shawn Michaels is. He carried. We talked about. He carried Ric Flair. If Ric Flair was 59 years old at the time, he carried Ric Flair through his last WWE match ever, bro. Carried him, and it was a beautiful match. Carried him through the match, bro. It was an amazing match, bro. Shawn Michaels.
He sold for Hogan.
Oversold match for Hogan. Shawn Michaels, he's just that good, bro. Even look at when he came back, bro. 4 years out of retirement, bro. Comes back, have a match Triple H. One of the greatest matches I've ever seen, bro. That SummerSlam match was incredible, bro. And The man,
I'm still mad at the Hogan thing.
He didn't even have.
He made Hogan look so strong.
He didn't even have real wrestling gear on too. The man wrestled in jeans and cowboy boots, bro, during that match, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like this dude he's that good, bro. Like this man he's that good. Like this dude didn't have wrestling gear on, bro. He wrestled in jeans and cowboy boots, bro, and still went out there and fucking stole the show, bro. You put Shawn Michaels in the ring with anybody, I'll tell you right now, you put Shawn Michaels in the ring with anybody and the match is bad, it's not Shawn Michaels' fault. I'll tell you that much.
Yep.
Definitely was Shawn Michaels' fault against Hogan.
Man, Hogan looks strong as
The man is King Petty.
Hey.
Like, oh, you want to go over? Oh, I'm gonna put you over.
I got you.
I got you. What about you, Melty? Did you give your answer yet, Melty? I don't know if you give an answer or not.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's got to be Shawn Michaels, man. It's a no-brainer. Everything that he's done is just been super entertaining, front to back. You know, from the promos, from the builds. Like he's just a true professional in a way. Like as he got older, he got a lot better. I found, when he was younger, he was still super entertaining and put on great matches. Like a very underrated match, guys, is like, Shawn Michaels versus Tatanka in like WrestleMania 9. That's a good match. If you go back and watch it, it's a good match. And like nobody would have thought like it would have been anything special. And to me, it was one of the best matches of the whole night. So like just to give you an idea, and I was like young of his career and everything. Royal Rumble. I mean, come on, man. Like, yeah, I know a little bit, but it's okay because that
was a good match. It's a good match.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good match. So I gotta say, what about you, Josiah? What are you gonna say?
Here's the thing. It's like, I'm knowledgeable when it comes to like, WWE and wrestling and stuff like that. But me being like a younger WWE fan, like I know about, like Shawn Michaels being like an amazing in-ring performer, and he is. But it's just like me being like a modern PG era type WWE fan. In my opinion, I gotta go with AJ Styles because I feel like AJ Styles, much like Shawn Michaels, like he can have a match with a lot of guys and it'd be like an amazing match. You know what I'm saying? Like and for his age, like he can still like do amazing things in that ring. You know what I'm saying? So that's my
Shawn Michaels was that age too, so doing good stuff too, though, man. So Shawn Michaels, he was only like 44, 45 when he did the match with Taker at WrestleMania. So he was fucking.
Well, AJ Styles, nobody in this world can say that they didn't utilize AJ Styles to his fullest potential when they signed him in 2016 or whatever it was, bro. He's had a legendary career in WWE for such a short stint, and for his age, it has been remarkable. And you're right, Josiah, you're 100% right, man. Everything that guy has done has been gold, heel or face, and it's hard to say that in today's market,
And he's a safe worker.
I would say for sure.
Injury-free, always entertaining.
Remember, AJ saved James Ellsworth's life. Remember that.
He did.
He did. I would say AJ would be he'd be on the Mount Rushmore for his in-ring performance for sure, no doubt in my mind.
100%.
He's number two. He number two on my list. But Shawn Michaels though, I gotta give it to Shawn, bro. Shawn was so good, bro. And it's hard to go against what Shawn Michaels could do. All right, last question. This is a good question. Last question running on this. All right, if you were in the WWE, what would your character be in their back?
I got this. Yes.
Damn.
I'll let everybody else start. I got this.
No, go ahead, Josiah. You go ahead. You go first.
Yeah, go.
Look.
I never thought about that.
I never. Okay, so look, WWE 2K20, it was terrible, right? But the thing I liked most about WWE games was that you get to, was the creative character selection and things like that. And so I had like this whole scenario in mind of like how my career would go, because I created my character in WWE 2K20 and like I put him in the universe mode, right? The way my character would be is like he would be like this young rookie, you know what I'm saying? And like he got and he got mentored by like these greats, kind of like how Daniel Bryan was, but it's like nobody really would take me seriously as like a top star. But the moment I step in the ring, you'll know to take me seriously because I'm the whole package, high flying, in-ring ability, mic skills, but just on paper, but just on visuals, you would expect me to be as good as I am. That's how my whole character would be.
I'll make this a 2-part question. So you already went through part 1. So now tell me, if you could be any wrestler in history, who would you be? Any pro wrestler ever in history?
If I could be or beat?
If you could be a wrestler, if you could be any wrestler in history, who would you be? Like you would want to be that guy. That would be me.
Woof.
Let's see here. If I wanted to be any wrestler, most definitely it would probably be either Shawn Michaels, just because of how he is, or most likely Stone Cold, just off of his character alone.
That's good answers. All right, what about you, Axe? You going with the? I probably already know your character. It's probably gonna be Silly Willy. That's probably gonna be you.
Silly Willy, you stupid. That's your character, bro.
That's my character.
I don't even know, like, to be honest. But as far as backstory, I would have been one of them people in catering. You would have known who I was, and then just on one night at a crazy pay-per-view, just come in and mess up the whole match. That's one of my favorite things, like how the Shield came about.
Yeah.
Like I always like a debut with who the hell is this? Where the hell they came from? That would be my way to come in. Character-wise, I'm not really sure. But as far as being,
bro, I just told you, Silly Willy, bro. That's you.
Silly Willy, you
That's your gimmick, bro. That's your gimmick. Bro.
Nah, you gotta let them know about Silly Willy though, Malik.
Silly Willy is the character I created on. It's a character I created on 2K on WWE 2K.
Right.
And this man was getting dubs for a minute, and Axel hated him, bro, because he kept winning matches and shit.
Yeah, I hated that man.
He's like, "How the fuck are we losing to?" You have to see what it looks like. If you saw it look like you, if you saw what it looked like, you just be like, "I can't lose somebody like this," and he kept winning matches, and Axel didn't like him for a minute. He kept pissing him off because he was that good. So I said, "Silly
shit is annoying."
What about you, Lou? You already kind of got one right now. Kind of doing a little something.
Oh, I got two. But I'm gonna get the obvious one out the way. You already know the man that loves beautiful women, fried chicken, and lots of cash. The big buddy, pretty boy, Lucius Suede. That's me. Rich, businessman, style consultant, millionaire. In this case, billionaire, manager. But in this particular case, I'm gonna make him a wrestler. Eric, he's a rich dude, come from privilege. He's obsessed of being the best dressed and best looking person. Not like Tyler Breeze in a sense, but it's like a mixture of $1 Million Man MVP, and you can sprinkle a little bit of Tyler Breeze in there. But yeah, but also he's like, you don't let like the money and the pretty boyness of him, or and the suave talking, the way he does this stuff, while I'm like having a little like pimpish type of voice vibe fool you. He's smart. He's smart. He knows how to connive and buy, and like cheat his way into any situation he wants. You know what I mean? Like if he wants you, if he's gonna set your ass up, he'll do it. If he's gonna pay some dude off to get you, he gonna do it. If he will use his lawyers to get into where he needs to get to, as far as getting championship matches or like situations, if he wants,
this literally sounds like one of the craziest, but also one of the best characters. Like I would love to see that in WWE.
I do shit like this in NGTTWF, the little promo league in TikTok. Lucius Wayne is that's the character.
I'm gonna plug it in right now. We're actually doing some stuff with this promotion called TCW. So Lou's actually gonna be playing that character. So he's actually gonna be doing that shit.
Be playing
for real.
Lucius Wade. You're gonna see more of it. You're gonna see more of this. You're gonna see more of this face. You know what I'm saying?
I love it.
So what about I forgot to ask you, what wrestler would you want to be? I forgot to ask you that. What wrestler would you want to be? It could be any wrestler.
Oh shit! What wrestler would I want to be?
Yeah, I don't know if Axe, did you answer that question, Axe? I don't know if you
answered it either.
Yeah, go ahead, Axe. Go first.
Real quick. You already know the first one, Jeff Hardy, but got to be the Undertaker, man.
That would have been.
That's a good.
It would be just to play all those characters, bro. Would be fun, y'all.
I got
the respect level too, bro. Like you
exactly,
dude.
Exactly.
Like you always get the nod. You know,
if you got the nod from the Undertaker,
That's how you know you made it.
That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like your time is money. You know, your time is literally money to these people. Like,
I know a lot of people. When Shawn Michaels, I think when Shawn Michaels did something with the screw job. You know, when Shawn did the screw job, he said the only person he was concerned about was good opinion was Taker. Yep. He didn't care about nobody else. He just wanted to know if he was good with Taker.
And as a Jeff Hardy fan, when Undertaker gave him the nod, that was it for me. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
What about you, Lou? All right, what about you? Any wrestler you want to be? Okay.
The Rock.
Oof.
The Rock, because that man was just cool, bro.
You want to do that people's elbow.
Swagger. And you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was one of my idols growing up, bro. Like watching him talk and just watching him walk, just the way he carried himself. And number 2 is Brock Lesnar. Because you can do whatever the hell you want when nobody can whoop your ass.
And get paid for it. And get paid the big dollars for it too. So it's like
win-win.
And Brock is he's really good too. So he's actually really good too. So what about you? All right, Mountie. Give your up on me.
All right.
Well, first off, you're probably gonna be the Mountie, so that'll be your career, the Mountie.
Well, it's kind of been done, but I'm going in a somewhat similar, not really direction, but I'm sticking with the Canadian theme. I would be the cockiest Canadian heel of all time, right? Like completely bashing other countries. I'm better than them.
Would you be like Would you be like Brett when Brett was heel but representing Canada with pride?
But better because I'd go in more detail, in more depth. So I'd be making fun of millennials. I'd be making fun of Gen Z. I would teach them the definition of a hard work. I would probably have on the outskirts a lumberjack outfit because I do cut wood. And I do all these random like Canadian shit that we do in the winter. So I would do all kinds of vignettes and promos of me doing like outdoorsy woodman shit. But really, I'd be like the most in shape, cockiest Canadian heel of all time. Kind of like MJF status, where I'd always stay in character too. I would try to always stay in character as much as I possibly could.
That's so hard to do.
You know,
Am I the only one that wants to be like an underdog?
I would try.
I'll tell you right now, you're gonna be the only good guy, bro. You're gonna be the only good guy.
Am I the only one wants to be like an underdog babyface? Like that's what I liked about Daniel Bryan. That's who I want. That's how I would want to be.
I want to be heel. What about so what wrestler would you want to be, Multi? Before we go, wrestler you want to be?
Randy Orton, 100%. The way he carried himself, his confidence. He's had such a great career. There's respect everywhere. He's a Hall of Famer. He's got wrestling in his blood. I mean, dude, look at the people he's hung out with. Like, so I would be, Randy Orton, but I would hang out with the likes of Ric Flair, Triple H, Batista. Bro, I mean, come on, being one of the best factions of all time, have some of the best matches ever. Like, feud with John Cena, the Ruthless Aggression hero. I mean, I don't know. For me, like that's my guy. That's my guy. That's my Jeff Hardy.
I got two different characters in mind. So for me, I like really dark characters. So I would want to be something kind of like the Fiend, kind of a little bit. I like the darkness of like the Fiend, Ministry of Darkness type mix. Those are the type of characters I like. I like the type of dark, the dark type of heels that are like very mysterious and very, I don't want to say like too devilish, you know what I mean? Because I don't support like Satan or anything like that. But like it's to that set of character. Another one I would be, if I couldn't be that. So my dad's side of the family are Muslims, right? And I don't speak Arabic. They don't speak Arabic either, but they follow the Muslim religion heavily. And I would basically want to be another like Muhammad Hassan, but better. Like a Muhammad Hassan, but a real legit heel. Put me with somebody who can speak Arabic, represent the Arabic community, and would be like I'm talking like full blown anti-American, straight, representing the Arabic community type heel. Where like the heat, I want the heel heat to be like legit, bro. Like I want people to be afraid that I might like fucking like destroy, like destroy them or like
how Rusev was.
Yeah, but like kind of like how Rusev when Rusev first came in, he was dominant, he was believable, and it was anti-American, everything like that. But like something like that. But as far as any wrestler I want to be, it could be many. The easy answer would be John Cena. He's my favorite wrestler of all time. But my honestly, I would this guy to me, like I said, he has the total package. It's The Rock, bro. He could do everything, bro. The Rock's so entertaining, bro. He can make you laugh, he can make you hate him, and just his mic skills. To have his mic skills, bro, like I don't even need every time. I don't even need a script, bro. Just give me a microphone. I'm going out there and I'm doing what I gotta do, bro. Like it's just
Billy Gunn, dude. Oh my god.
The Rock can do everything, bro. And if I had to pick another one too, because you guys picked two, this one may surprise you guys, bro. It would be Roman Reigns, bro. I would love to be Roman Reigns.
What?
Roman Reigns
right now. You don't have his whole career though.
Yeah, because Roman Reigns has the look, bro. I'm telling you, he has the look, bro. He has
you want his teeth.
Look.
You want his teeth, don't you?
You want his teeth. The come on, the tattoo. Talking about that tattoo, that tattoo.
No, that tattoo, yeah.
Tattoo is sick.
I know. Sometimes he's like, "Fuck, you wish I was Samoan." Just
the reason I want to be Roman is because he has the look, bro. When you look at him, you see superstar, bro. He just has the look, bro. He just has something. He just has it. I can't explain more than that. He just has the look, bro. So that would be my answer. But The Rock would be for sure. I mean, I'd love to be The Rock. If I could be The Rock, my fucking life would be amazing. So, I appreciate you guys for coming in here and all your questions, man. Much love. Doing this Q&A, man. I did 3 hours for you guys. Okay? 3 hours. 3 hours for the community, bro. So it's a long time for my time and everybody else's time.
Yes, sir.
Let you guys plug on your social medias real quick before we head off. We'll start with Mountie, then we'll go all the way up from there. So
appreciate it, man. Listen, I appreciate being here tonight. Always a lot of fun talking wrestling. I do this all the time. It's a passion, it's a hobby, and hopefully we can make it a lifestyle and a profession one day, one way, shape, or another. And I hope the best for all of the rest of you guys, because you guys are fucking great as well. So Lou, Axe, Josiah, super nice meeting you today, man. Malik,
nice meeting you too, man.
Bro, I appreciate Malik having me again. This is this brotherhood is continuing to flourish, but it's also growing. So I love that. It's great to again meet you guys. Awesome people in the chat. Great questions. There's always some awesome stuff to talk about pro wrestling. That's the best thing. We do this shit weekly, and we always have fresh new ideas and topics to cover. So I'm just grateful to be a part of it. Thanks, guys. You guys can follow me on. You can find me on TikTok at Mounties_Corner. I have the same handle on Twitter. Come check out my YouTube channel at Mounties Corner. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, basically any of the big platforms for social media. Feel free to hit me up, DM me, whatever. I'm super active with my fan base. I'm growing on TikTok a lot. Be one of those guys that's been there from the beginning. I promise it's going to be a lot of fun. And if you come check out my stuff, I do giveaways and t-shirt giveaways and all kinds of really great shit. So I appreciate all of you guys on the panel. I appreciate the fans, and come check me out on Mounties Corner. Rippin', baby.
Sweet. It's my turn to shine. I'm just playing. Sorry, not like that. But some seriousness, man. This is really dope, man. I love doing these podcasts with the homies. But yo, it's your boy Lou Nonsense. That's Lou LU_Nonsense. It's the same as my Instagram and Twitter and Facebook page. All in my YouTube. Still trying to work on that, but yeah, man. I'm pretty versatile when it comes to entertainment. I'm like, main thing is I want to be the best entertainer on TikTok as best as I possibly can, no matter what. I do wrestling, comedy skits, all that stuff. You know what I mean? And also go check out the TCW on YouTube when we relaunch. You're gonna have me, Lucius Suede, in that bitch, being dope as hell, as I know I can. You know what I mean? Beautiful women, fried chicken, and lots of cash, baby. So, yeah, man.
How great is it? How great is it, man? It's such a great one.
Bro, push him to the moon, baby. I'd wear that.
Put it on the shirt. I'd buy it.
On the shirt,
bro. We got some juicy ideas. We got some good shit coming, bro. We got some good ideas. So, go ahead, Axel. Let you plug in yourself.
Hey, if y'all want to follow me, I'm on TikTok, Axel Guzman 107. And if you guys like promos, right now is the best time to follow me because we got something cooking up. Yeah, and I really appreciate you guys, man. It's really fun sitting here talking wrestling, man. I've been looking for something like this for years.
Yeah, same here, man.
And it's good to finally find a group of people to do this, man.
Same here. You know, I've been a fan of wrestling for ever since I was about like 7 or 8. And you know, whenever I brought up wrestling to like my friends at school, they always like just said, like, why do you watch that? Like, it was just me that was into it. But yeah, you know, I'm glad that I, you know, got like a community right here. You know, I'm glad that I could talk wrestling. I could talk wrestling for hours. I love doing this. But my on TikTok, Josiah.official, JASIAH.official. And I actually have a YouTube channel called Josiah the Elite, where we game over there. And also created another YouTube channel called Josiah Official Wrestling, but it doesn't have any content on there. But like, I always wanted to create a channel where I just want to talk about wrestling. So that's me.
Appreciate you guys, man. Like I said, we got some stuff coming up for you, some promo battles, which we'll probably make sure Lou and Axel get off. We got to talk about some stuff too. So you know, we got some things we got to discuss, some shit coming for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I probably do another one of these Q&As maybe a couple weeks from now. We'll see what happens, man. So appreciate all the support, guys. Much love, man. You guys will be safe out there.